Que quiero es amor, nada de compasión. No, no, no lo sé si tú sabes que te quiero pero no lo es. Yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar, pero la inmadurez me la jugó. Baby, eso no lo quería, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar. Solo una oportunidad, luego me voy. Sería chimba demostrarte quién yo soy, bebé. Superaba lo que te hice a ti. Pasara me dijo la tristeza. Hubiera replay, cambiaría por ti. Porque te amo, baby. Es que el corazón no entiende por qué hace tanto dolor. Fueron errores que te marcan y cantarán a grito la canción. Qué pena que esto se volvió una condena, pero eso no me frena, que fueras ajena. Yeah, yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar, pero la inmadurez me la jugó. Baby, eso no lo quería, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar. Solo una oportunidad, luego me voy. Sería chimba demostrarte quién yo soy, bebé. Si me quedara esos días que tenía tu compañía, despertar no era como antes. Que los errores de mi vida nunca fueron culpa mía, y el destino quiso traicionarme, pero me di cuenta demasiado tarde que por esas vainas te perdí a ti. Estuvo en mi mente hacerte sufrir, y en mis pesadillas dejarte ir. Yeah, yeah. Qué pena que esto se volvió una condena, pero eso no me frena, que fueras ajena. Yeah, yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar, pero la inmadurez me la jugó. Baby, eso no lo quería, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar. Solo una oportunidad, luego me voy. Sería chimba demostrarte quién yo soy, bebé.
Suéltame, suéltame ahora, baby, suéltame, suéltame ahora, baby, déjame, suéltame ahora, libre, libre de tu amor, no lo compliques, tirando techo a la cara te olvides. Las cosas cambiaron, una situación cabrón. Suéltame para siempre, no mires atrás. Las cosas cambiaron, una situación cabrón. Suéltame para siempre, no mires atrás. Las cosas cambiaron, la situación cabrón. Suéltame para siempre, no mires atrás. Cuando me deja un mensaje de la drama, cuando peleamos a las 2 de la mañana, tú no vales la pena nunca volver a mi cama. Cuando pones mi canción favorita y me embala con tu juego de cuerpito, it's a trap, I know, tryna reel me back, cause you never let go. I know, you never let go. I know, suéltame, suéltame ahora, baby, déjame, suéltame ahora, suéltame. Las cosas cambiaron, una situación cabrón. Suéltame para siempre, no mires atrás, 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 atrás.
swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. Fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking
afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Octane Online Racing's brand spanking new Endurance Series. It is round one. We are here at Zolder in Belgium. I hope you're well on this, the second day of July. My name is Jamie Conboy. It's an absolute pleasure, as always, to be joining you in YouTube land for a limited time only before I go and jump in the car and make an absolute menace of myself. The informational graphics, high-quality cutscenes, and perfect camera angles you see on your screen are brought to you by Neil Alexander, who is locked away in a broadcast bunker somewhere under row 96 of the spectator stands to your right. But please, allow me to introduce to you the man keeping you company for the entirety of the day. Start to finish, formation lap to podium celebrations alongside me in the sky. Overlooking the circuit is the expert opinion, unbiased curses, and dulcet vocal range of none other than Matt Nippers. Good day to you, kind sir.
Good evening, JC, and good evening, everyone out in Chatland. Hope everyone is nice and relaxed at home. Maybe got a cold beverage, or maybe a couple of cold beverages with you to enjoy this this race. We are here at Zolder, the other Belgian racetrack, and it's going to be a tough day for the drivers out there. I'm definitely not jealous of these guys for what they are embarking on.
The very first thing I can see is clear blue skies, which, in all honesty, we anticipated rain when we were told that we were going to be using the real life location weather. We went all to Google and we looked up what is the weather in Belgium at this time of year, and we were told it would be raining. But no, in Zolder today, in the real world, it must be pretty sunny because it's pretty bloody sunny here. So the drivers will be thankful for that. I know that there's a few out there who will be a little bit upset that it's not raining, but it is clear blue skies here in Belgium today. So there'll be plenty of drivers very happy with that, I would suggest.
Certainly will be. I haven't really done many laps around Zolder in the rain, but it's tough enough in the dry. I'm going to say two words. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a theme here. Patience and precision. I think that is going to be the two key words for 7 hours around Zolder. It's a tight little circuit. It's tough to make passing maneuvers. It's not really one of those tracks that you're going to be really forcing a move at. So in the rain, it'd be twice as hard, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're spot on in regards to patience. Very, very few overtaking opportunities for drivers around here, especially if you're on the same pace as the car in front of you. How long are these cones going to last? Your suggestions, Matt?
Exactly half a minute.
Yeah, it'll be first lap.
I'll have the stopwatch going to make sure I'm actually accurate on that one.
But yeah, just doing a little drive through. As I said, it's a pretty skinny track, very technical little place, and patience and precision, spot on. I like that, especially through those chicanes. You've got to be very precise, and around the whole track, you've got to be very patient. Very interested to see how the blue flags play out once they come into play. So the starting grid up in front of you now. Britt and Lamb on pole in the 315 No Idea entry. Very quickly followed by Ty and Lee in the 112 Rockets Evolved.
Row 2, we have the 555 of OES Orange, and I think that is an Audi there. Next to them is the Kovacs Racing Purple of the Sonikai and Carl Johnson.
Row 3 is Speedy Mite Racing, Jacobs and Talbot, and MRT, Dare to Dream, Conboy, Gibbons and Weatherburn.
Row 4, we have the 919 of Kovacs Racing Black, and I think that is Babs and Bushel driving that one. 676 of Convicts and Colonials, Bartlett and Carpenter.
And then rounding out the top 10, Big Spoon Racing and Chimp Fisket Racing. I love that team name, just quietly. Rolden Muir and McGarvin Glow from P9, and Hind and Mitchell in P10.
Row 6 is the number 45 of WTT IB Racing, with Van Vley and Kyridan running that one. And out of 12th is the 169 THR Hoon Corp of Vandenbosch and Vaughan.
05 Motorsport in P13, Brooke, Malloy and Walter, and Mad Cow Racing, Fluke, Pignata and Kingston up there in P14.
Row 8, we will see 117, the ALV Racing, with think is that the Italian or Mexican flags there? Doesn't matter. Sun Solo, Vanguard, and Nunes. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. Starting next to them is the 111 of Rockets Evolved, number 1 of Karud and Misson.
Mexican, I reckon. Nunes, what do you think? WTT and GSR Esports are in P17 with Nguyen Gafor, Lacanalao and Sandnut, and Kovacs Racing Green in P18, Matic, Rad, Moras, and Cardillo.
Row 10, 720 of the Warren Tyre Tribe 1. That's Megan D, Kefford and McDonald. And rounding up the top 20, it is number 19, Kovacs Racing Blue, Chalmers, Viney and Neighbour.
So they are your top 20 drivers. They are the pro drivers on the grid. We're heading into the Pro-Ams now, headed up by MRT Stock Go 30, Alex Imey, Jermaine, Hignett and Reel, and then followed very quickly by JMX Shadow, Donaldi, Herma and Nabil.
Row 12, we have 556 OES Blue with Martin Hurley, Windsor and Khaki, and starting next to him is the 71 of Opposite Lock with Pickford and Bagermans.
$1.50 Macca Special, Muller Hill and Pass, Alliance Gold, McClaws, Sassanio, Carlton and Pethy Bridge, 25-26.
Out 27th, we have the 420 of Brake Check Republic, best name in the field actually. Ataniak, really sorry if I'm butchering this one. Baketold and McLaughlin. Next to them is the 152 of Vic Mania 720, Carnero, Gay, Bigioli and Hud.
Disciples of Speed 2 are in P29 with Vincent Artura and Scarni, and P30 is the HMS Vicmania entry with Sue Reeves, Wiley and Norman.
Moving into the final few rows of the grid, out of 31st is the 28 of MPR GP, and out of 32 is number 2 Team Last Name. To get through it pretty quickly.
Kovacs Racing Red, Psychopath E Racing 2, Alliance Green, CJ Racing, MRT First Name and Mavic Racing Team round out the top 38 and your Pro-Am drivers, and then heading into the Am drivers.
Well, we start with the 27 of Clutch Racing, and so next to them is number 20 of Trans Tasman.
Team Techno, Madhawks Racing and Race Ventura, 41, 42 and 43.
And out of 44, we have Rutmar Spin, Mollis's Racing out of 45th, and then the 666 of Psychopath E-Racing number 1.
White Lab E-Racing and Zoom A Team have joined us for this one after a couple of dropped out, so they will fill up the back of the grid. Looks like we're just coming around to end the formation lap now. Let's kick it off. Let's go. 7 hours of Zolder, patience and precision. That's what it calls for. Let's see how let's see how patient and precise they are into turn 1 as we cross the line, get ready to go green. There it is. The green flags are out. There's a couple of 3 wides up the front there already. Please, for goodness, let's get that sorted out. Looks like the MRT boys have held the inside line for turn 2. It looks pretty clean back through the midfield here. It's not a bad start. Nice work. It is a 7-hour race. You would suggest that all of these drivers will be looking to keep it pretty clean. A few of them very happy to give up a spot or 2 if it means they stay facing the right way. That's a good start. Nice work.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm actually quite impressed. I saw 3 wide. I saw people dive bombing into turn number 1, but somehow everyone has gotten through that nice and cleanly. Oh no, that's not a replay, thank God.
Down into the chicane for the first time though. Let's see how this fares out.
A couple of Hondas then side by side going into the chicane. That was ambitious, but that has allowed Connor Hine to get around one of the NSXs.
So yeah, a couple of them taking way too much of the curb on the chicken. Maybe a bit of nerves coming into play there. And a few positions swapped after the first chicane. But again, everyone making it through pretty cleanly. There's a few cars that have dropped out the back there. This is Kai Rudin. Looks like he's going up the inside of the hairpin. Nice little move, so he gets that one completed. But yeah, other than a few cars that have dropped off the back, there's no yellow flags, no safety cars. The stewards are applauding the quality of the drivers in the box.
Oh, Diabol's in chat, 2 cars off. That's not that bit, 2 drivers you mentioned, so never mind. Looks like the early race lead. Don't have a time board up at the moment, but that's okay. It looks like a bit of a break there from the Audi up in front. Don't really know who that is, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. It's Lamb. Who else?
So great start by the pole sitter. Lamb just holding on and consolidating P1. Ty, P2. Western P3, Senecas P4, and Weatherburn has made up a position up into P5. Talbot, unfortunately, looks like he's had a terrible start and has dropped down a few. I say terrible, that's a bit rough. He's only lost the one spot to Weatherburn. I was confused him for the Rocket for Gold entry. No, he's only lost the one spot, that's Talbot. So he's okay. Oh, someone out there in the background. That looked like the Kovacs Racing green entry, if I'm not mistaken. Going a little bit sideways there through the first chicane, so they'll fall back. Looking at the back of Matt Pignata's car here, the Mad Cow Racing entry. Good to see Matty on track, by the way. He's just set up his rig over the last couple of days after moving house or something, so he was really pushing to be involved, and he's done well to set it all up. And going to lead the Mad Cow Racing entry off the line, so good from him. Sam Misson here. Try and put some pressure on 117. That's Sun Solo.
Yes, got a great battle brewing up here, and involved in that one is Megan D in the 720 McLaren. I'm actually very surprised with that D is very far down. I'm expecting D to be a little bit further up the front, but we'll have to keep an eye on the 720 as the race goes on. I wouldn't expect D to be down the bottom of the top 20 for too much longer. A couple of drivers in the Pro class having a bit of a struggle start. That's Neighbour and Cardillo, at least from what I can see. They've both got themselves mixed up with some of the Pro-Ams. Hignett is currently leading the Pro-Am, and he's got Martin just right up behind him as well. They're side by side here, Nabil and Neighbour. Both just to go single file. I thought they were going to try and race into the first chicane, but
Good decision.
Yeah, good decision. Good decision. Those curbs, they are not friendly.
Certainly not trying to fit two cars side by side through there. No, I wouldn't be wanting to do that. So intelligent driving there. The race is 7 hours long. There is a long way to go. You don't want to be sending it down there too early. So yeah, smart driving.
Oh no. This is never a good sign. We have a replay here. Two BMWs going side by side. There's 3 wide going back there. Well, everyone's behaving themselves so far. Where's the disappointment? Where's the sad face? Oh, there it is.
Oh, there's a touch.
Oh, just as I was saying. Oh. Well,
could have been worse. Could have been worse. No safety car. All the drivers there did pretty well to hold their brakes and be as predictable as possible. And everyone else seemed to get through pretty cleanly. Just a couple of unlucky drivers getting a little touch on the quarter panel and taking them around, but no safety car. So yeah, pretty good result considering what it could have been with all of those cars around.
Yes, indeed. But still, that is a long way to go for a few drivers. Way down at the back of the field, 472 just coming through that final hairpin. A lot of ground to make up.
Matty Lamb has had a great start here. He's already 2.5 seconds down the road, so looking to stamp his authority on these opening laps. Started from there, he's doing very nicely. Talbot has told me to shove it. He's gone from P6 to P4 somewhere. He's done very nicely. Made up a few positions.
Interestingly, Western fastest lap of the race. I'm actually going to touch on this in the intro. Didn't have enough time. Really, it's pretty clear that the mid-engine cars are going to have a huge advantage. As you can see in the top 10, only 2 front-engine cars at the moment running in the top 10. Audi's dominating the top 5, and interestingly, the Honda as well, going really strongly here.
Yeah, both the Audi and the Honda can get a little sketchy though, whereas the front wheel, the BMW and the Nissan may be a little bit more safe. So we'll see how that plays out over 7 hours. If those drivers can keep those cars heading on the straight and narrow 7 hours, as you said, they do look like they've got the pace advantage. But yeah, a little bit sketchy to drive at times, especially on the older tyres, but you're right, those Audis looking extremely quick.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that we even have Nissan in the field. Zolder is not a friendly track to the Nissan. There's no real places for that Nissan to stretch its legs. And it is a little bit hard to rotate at times.
The Nissan's advantage being top speed, isn't it? Yeah, so no long straights here, you're right. Struggling to use its strengths.
It's good under brakes, but yeah, it's just doesn't. There's no straights here. It can't stretch its legs, but so it's been a great job from Hind to get that Nissan into the top 10. So hopefully he can keep it there. Just for my not so biased commentary, but for Nissans. But he's got Matt Glow right behind him in the 69 Honda, and Glow, he's a pretty quick driver.
Someone said Nissan, and Ultimate Local popped into chat immediately. Hello, my friend. Is the Nissan's probably top 3? I mean, he's definitely top 3 biggest fans. So you say the word Nissan, and he just appears. It's like saying things in the mirrors and ghosts appear. You say Nissan, and he's here. Look at how close these cars are a couple of laps in. It looks like there's a little move down here on the inside into turn 1. Looks like it's... Oh,
little tap there.
Potentially coming together there.
That'd be right, or buff out. There's only a few little plastic throughs and pop out, which is good.
But this will be the interesting point in the race where everyone's just shaking off the nerves now. And 9 minutes in, couple of laps down, they might just start to think, all right, let's see if I can make some moves happen. I've been patient enough. All one of those who's starting to really get interested in the back of Taylor here. Taylor,
crazy.
Yes. Apologies, I could have worded that a little better. But yeah, we see some blue flags out there already too. So I don't know how many of these cars have pitted or whether they've just folded into the field here. There's some blue flags being waved already. That is going to be a big theme for today.
Oh, we got a yellow at the hairpin. I just saw it flash up on the map. Don't know who it is. Now. And we also have a penalty as well. Ellis in the 421. He has got a 15-second pen. So not a great start. Suboptimal. But I was going to actually add on to that little talk point about Hall. He's also got the Pro-Am lead, and he'll want to try and consolidate that. So getting around Taylor, not so much a priority. I mean, again, it's hard to pass here. So while it's hard for Hall to pass Taylor, it's also hard for Aska to get around Hall. There's a beamer going a little bit wide at turn 1, and part of the precision side of this circuit is just how little space off the side of the track you've got before you get those horrible gravel traps that just eat away your speed and suck away your acceleration. So
yeah, especially that sand trap outside of 4. You get any wheel in there, it's basically the only straight on the track is the way down to the chicane. So if you get sucked out into the sand at turn 4, it's probably a good chance for someone behind you to make a move. Because you're right, it just sucks so much pace out of your car. At least in the grass, you can keep your foot planted in some of these places in the grass and you don't lose too much traction. But you're right, that sand just stops you.
Turn 4, that is the Burnham existence. Oh, there's a move there from the boat league just behind. That was Reeves on Canero. So
here's what happened down into the hairpin. I reckon this might be your yellow flag incident.
This is going to be sadness.
Oh, no. No, that ain't it. We'll see a penalty coming his way for sure. Nowhere near up alongside. Getting a little boop on the rear quarter panel. Turns him around.
Here's Josh Hill. Driver I see a lot in my own commentary. He runs around in quite a few different series, but great to see him out there in the Ferrari in the $1.50 Smackers Special. He's getting racy at the moment. I think everyone's forgotten that there's still 6 hours and 48 minutes to go. Looking around the outside, this is a very opportunistic move. If he can get it done, can't get it done. He's got to be aware that Bentley is very racy behind him. We've already seen a move from the Bentley in the final hairpin as they head over the hill into the Villeneuve chicane. See if Hill can keep the pressure on. Who's that in front of him? The 71. Pickford, is it?
I reckon that might be the car that we saw that spun at the hairpin. So I'm wondering if they're carrying damage or if they're essentially just a little bit slow. But you're not wrong. This Bentley behind is looking very interesting.
go side by side, and Hill will run it around the outside. Not a bad effort. They're going to have to give each other space. Don't know what the top speed is like in the Ferrari. Probably not as good as the Bentley by the looks of things.
It's great racing, both giving each other enough space. The Bentley would have had to have taken a lot of that inside curve, and maybe too much sausage has compromised their exit. So Hill's still managing to hold this position. He's going to have inside running down into turn 1, and it looks like he might just be able to hold off this Bentley for now. Great racing between these two.
And that has brought that little gaggle of cars right into this. Oh, there's a car off the track there. That was an Audi, I think. Audi's doing Audi things, I guess.
So you're right, Hill was looking like he was ready to make a pass, but in doing so, he probably compromised a few of his entries and exits, and a bit of time lost.
Here's a man coming up here. McLaren up the inside of the BMW, and can he get it stopped? He's going to do a bit of motocrossing, and a bit of a switchback, and then we're not going to go 3 wide.
3 wide, no.
7-hour race? 7-hour
race.
race? What's a 7-hour race? Never heard of it.
It's a 7-hour sprint. It's 7
Oh!
1-hour sprints. Was that of his own accord, or did he get a little
I think
boot?
there was a touch. I think he did get a little bit of a boot going through the second part of the Villeneuve chicane. So Carnero, all that good work, great dicing. Unfortunately, it's come undone for him.
So a little bit of pain there for Carnero after making a move. You'd be upset with that, but it is, as you said, 7 hours. We've got a long, long way to go. It has been a very spicy start to this race. Plenty of positions have been mixed up. Plenty of overtakes and a few little boops and snoots, but we're just starting to get settled in now. As I said, those nerves will be shaken off, and the guys will be starting to think, now's the time to stretch my legs and see if I can make some moves. So that's why we're starting to see a few little incidents. But Matty Powell jumped in chat before, so that's how you know the steward's box is nice and quiet, because he is our head steward for the day. Hats off to you, Matt Powell, and to everyone else joining you in the steward's box today. Matt Powell's our race director. So the fact that he's in here chatting to us means that it's nice and calm in the steward's box at the moment. No headless chickens running around there at the moment, which is what we want.
Give it time, give it time.
He's still
We've only had 15 minutes. Here's a move. That's an unusual passing move there. Got that done well.
Yeah, tricky spot to pull that off, but yeah, got it done. Nice move.
This opportunity to answer a question. Actually, relay this question to you, Jamie. From Ultimate Local, if you could replace Kota in the DLC, what US track would that be?
I probably wouldn't replace Kota because it's my favourite of the three, and it's the only one that I've driven. So I haven't driven any of these yet since they downloaded. I bought them and I downloaded them, but I haven't driven them because I didn't want to drive anything else other than Zolder in preparation. But no, I wouldn't replace Kota. I definitely want Sebring. Sebring's one of my favourite tracks, so I'd replace something with Sebring, but probably not Kota because I do really enjoy that track.
I'm in agreement there. I like Circuit of the Americas. Great fun circuit. Then again, I'm one of these lunatics that likes every track. But I don't know about Sebring. I've played Sebring in the original Seto, and that is arm pumps in the city, all the bumps and everything there. But oh no, I guess I would have liked to have seen Long Beach in there. That's a fantastic street circuit. Maybe Sonoma Raceway as well. Is that in there? I've got it. I just haven't looked at the tracks.
I'm hearing that these ones that they've sent us are pretty bumpy as well, other than Watkins Glen, which is reasonably smooth. The ACC iteration of Watkins Glen, of Kota and Indianapolis, the other, they're very bumpy, I'm being told. So I'm interested to jump in and firmly try them for the first time, because in the F1 games, Kota's smooth as butter.
Again, I've downloaded it, but like you, I haven't had any time put in laps on them, as we have a bit of a move here from Missen. Looking at the inside of Vanden Bosch. Through turn 1, Audi had a little bit of a slide there, and we got cars making slight little contact there. That Honda in the background. He's going to fall victim, and that McLaren, that is Megan
That's
D.
Megan
Up
D.
the inside.
Nice.
Oh, she's got the elbows out.
Yeah. So you called it earlier. You said that she's probably a little bit out of place and won't be waiting around to see what happens in front of her. And what a save. That could have been much worse. These two are still going to go side by side into the chicane. This one isn't done yet, but there, a little bit of contact between. Oh no.
Oh, that has worked out quite well for the Audi. Not so much.
I don't know. That's an overtake off track, is it not? I don't know how I feel about that.
He's going to have to redress, definitely, to the Honda. But geez, that could have been so much worse. I thought for the world that the Audi was going to go flying into someone at the chicane.
Goodness me, that could have been so much worse. That all started back at turn 4 with the contact between. Oh, there's more contact here too. It's really starting to kick off now. Everyone just starting to get a little bit more aggressive with their inputs and their sends. There's still not a lot of space between a lot of these cars. There's a lot of cars potentially. Oh, there's another send. I don't know how I feel about that one. Come on, boys and girls. Settle it down. There's a long, long way to go. Let's just hold fire here a little bit because it's getting a little rowdy.
Yeah, Red Mist has definitely descended and, well, what'd I say? Patience.
Patience has gone out the door. Precision is starting to lack a little bit here in the midfield as well.
That's a
stage
Honda.
Left.
Honda doing Honda things.
Yeah,
I think the Red Mist definitely. I would have been raging as well after that.
So those guys there have done well to avoid Min as he rejoined. So yeah, Min was involved last lap here at turn 4, and then down in the chicane, and then Megan D got involved, and it went for a whole lap, all the way down through the hairpin, and then into the last chicane, and the first court just continued on, and we didn't know where to look. And unfortunately, Min is the one who pays the biggest price, who looks like he's jumped sort of 7-8 positions. So a painful lap from Min.
Nothing in chat there. 7 hours, people, not 7 laps. So we need him to send out all the memos to everyone. Anyway, actually, down here in 30th down, it looks pretty chilled down here.
Just a few penalties so far. I reckon we'll start to see a few more come out after that last lap or two.
Hang on, did we just curse the stewards box? Because we were saying, oh yeah, it's a race.
Did.
So how long did that take? 20 minutes for the first curse. Nice.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry, everyone in the stewards box.
You apologise with me. I'm a commentator. I give out the curses too. Got a whole bag of them right here.
Yeah, we've got to spread them out over 7 hours. Don't want to get them out too early. Casey Hall in P31 has grabbed himself 10 seconds. Jared Ellis in P37. Looks to be 15 seconds for that handsome man. But up the front, it is still Lamb. He's still got that 6.5 second gap from Weston now. Weston's moved up to P2, but Lamb has pinched the purple lap. So Lamb really starting to set the pace now. But what I do notice is Lamb's up there in the chicane and is coming up to other cars, so they would be blue flag cars. And now this is where it really starts to get interesting for Lamb. Can he navigate the blue flagged vehicles and keep extending that gap to Weston and Senecas? Ty down there in P4 and Telbo on screen in P5.
And just behind Talbot, we have Corridon he's in the Honda as well. Great to see a lot of Hondas out there. I think that's a bit of an underloved car in ACC.
I'd agree. Yeah, I'd never driven it before this. I'm in the car 5. It's the first time I've ever driven the Honda. Jacob Weatherburn in P7 at the moment. He apparently started his ACC career in the Honda, and it wasn't anywhere near as strong as it is now. There's a recent change to the way it behaves, and he reckons it's much better behaved. Yeah, so he's enjoying his time up there in P7 at the moment, really outperforming the car, I would suggest. But even then, the car is very strong, as you said. A couple of them in the top 10. So it's definitely a lot of potential. Apparently, it's pretty handy at Watkins Glen too, which, if I'm not mistaken, probably going to be the next endurance event. What are your thoughts on that? What if the track voting comes out, everyone's all excited for these new tracks, surely we're going to go to one of these American tracks.
I think that's a given, honestly.
And you think Watkins will be the most popular of those three?
Hard to say, really. I think given the what Ultimate Local asked about Coda, maybe Coda won't get a lot of love from a few people, which I don't know why. It's a great track. Yeah, I think it could be Watkins or Indianapolis that would get the most amount of votes if they're put up. But you never know. Certainly wasn't expecting Zolder to get the most amount of votes, but here we are.
It's a good point. We did have some popular tracks to choose from, and Zolder managed to beat them all. So you're right. Maybe the OOR community will teach us a lesson and say, you know what? We're not going to any of the American tracks. We're going to Paul Ricard. Yes. That's a great shout. I like that. OOR community. Let's all go vote for Paul Ricard for the next endurance event. I like it.
Well, that or there's a lot of masochists in OOR. Not sure.
But yeah, Kai Ruden's strong in any car, so that man's just
yeah, that's true.
rapid.
He just seems to get in anything, and he's quick. But, seeing a lot of names that I'm fairly familiar with, like Lamb, another driver, he runs everything. He's fast. The Sonicus brothers, they're great in any car. Let's see. Matt Glowell, he's up into the top 10. He's been quick in a variety of different cars in other leagues. Oh no, this is sadness. And
oh no, that rejoin needs work. I don't know if they were holding the brakes. Obviously, we haven't got inputs, so we can't see whether they had the brakes held. But it looked like they sort of just drifted back on track without any care of the world. That's going to be a whacking from stewards, I would suggest.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to just get back on track as quickly as he could, so he had the throttle probably pinned, I would say, and just nothing but wheel spin. So, yeah, unfortunate. Unfortunately, that red and white BMW had nothing to do with anything, was trying to pick his way through, and probably copped the worst of it.
Yeah.
It's always the third driver in the line.
Yeah. Sadness. But yeah, I think there's going to be plenty of that. Again, still only half an hour in, and we're seeing all of this unfold already, and that's without any pit stops having occurred to mix up the grid. Some of the blue flags still filtering back into the lead drivers, so none of that's occurred yet. Lamb still hasn't caught up to the back of the field to start lapping people yet. So once all that starts to mix in, I think it could get even worse.
Quite possibly. I think the strategy here, if you're like Neighbour that we can see in the rear vision mirror, or Cardillo, both pro-driver teams, maybe consider an early pit stop, get out of the traffic and go for the undercut. The undercut is, I think, is quite powerful around here. As I said, not a lot of place to make a move, so get out of the traffic as early as you can and start setting those fast laps.
Yeah, I think the only thing that might stop them from doing that, though, is there's the potential for a 6-stop race if you do manage to stretch out your fuel tank. I know for the Honda it's about a 94% tank that can get you all the way through to a 6-stop. But if you cut that short and you follow on and you want to try and get out of the traffic, or you go for an undercut or something like that, then you're down to a 7-stop race. So in the end it might cost you a little bit more than what you're willing to give up, so that might just stick it out. It also doesn't account for any rain, but I think it looks pretty blue. I know it's 7 hours to go. There could still be something later on that we don't know about, but at the moment it looks pretty dry.
I always say it's never over until the checkered flag drops. I've seen all sorts of dramas in many different races that I've called. Anything from the dreaded disconnect to putting a wheel just a little bit, just a pixel too far over the line and getting a drive through, or hitting it into the fence. Anything can happen. Maybe someone will find a portal into Narnia somewhere on the circuit. Who knows?
Just happen upon one.
Oh, it happened to Bathurst.
I'm very glad that we haven't had any disconnects or anything like that yet. That's been good. We haven't seen any laggy sort of helicopters floating around the sky. No Bentley's sitting on the top of the pit lane. So that's good. Nice little train of cars here. They have been friends for about 6 laps now. Those guys are following each other around. A little gaggle of pro-ams. And as you so rightly pointed out, they've got a couple of pros bearing down on them from behind. So they'll be looking to make those spots back. Having yet to pit for the first time.
Also, something to consider is that that pit lane entry, that is one of the worst pit entries I've ever seen. We're going to see chaos there, I can tell. Oh no. Speaking of chaos, let's have some chaos right now. Instant replay time. What do we got here? We've got an Audi and a Honda going into the chicane. Up and another Honda there.
Oh, who's that back there? A bit of a sympathy spin.
Is that Kyrodin?
It might be. It looks like it, doesn't it?
I think that is Kyrodin. I think that was our...
It absolutely is.
Kyrodin, Talbot and Ty all involved in this one. So Talbot looking around the outside, and I think Ty just got a little bump there, unsettled, and Kyrodin trying to avoid ends up spinning out in sympathy. So, well, drama in the top half of the field, really.
That's yeah, you're not wrong. That is not a midfield battle. That's for P3 essentially. All that stuff that was occurring there. So interesting to see how that shaped. We saw Jacob coming through the chicane as all of that was starting to recover and get back on track. But how many positions he was able to make up? How many did Karun lose? How many did Talbot lose? So yeah, it's a very interesting replay.
Meanwhile, down here in this is the battle for 19th, and it's stretching all the way back to what's that, 24th, with Martin bringing up the rear of this train. I can see Josh Hill is in there and Pickford leading the train, so Hill doesn't mind a bit of a send every now and then, but make it clean, and Zolder and clean moves very tough. He's just got to keep at it, keep chipping away at Pickford, try and get a mistake out of Pickford, and just get a little bit of a better run out of the corner. That's really, oh, here we go. He's actually going to go for a bit of a dive. I'm not sure, that might have been just a move around to the mirrors to keep the pressure up.
This pack obviously involves Reeves in that Bentley as well. We watched Hill and Reeves join battle a couple of laps ago, and how side by side they were for basically an entirety of the lap. So we know that these guys have the potential for clean racing, but yeah, you're right. This train is very long. Oh, that looks like it's going to be one up the inside of Neighbour from Martin.
Pulls out of it. I think that was just an impromptu. Oh, I've missed my braking marker.
Up the inside of Cardillo. My apologies. Neighbour is in front of Cardillo. So Cardillo in the Kovacs green entry there, and Neighbour in the Kovacs blue entry. And yeah, Martin looking like he was going to have a little play up the inside of the chicane, but thought better of it. So intelligent driving there from Martin. Nice work. But yeah, Reeves in this Bentley still all over the back of Hill in the 150 Max Special Ferrari.
He is super strong out of the Villeneuve chicane all the way up that hill. That Bentley, it's got some traction and some drive up the hill. He's able to almost get a bit of a dive into the hairpin on Josh Hill there.
But again, unless you're literally 3/10 quicker a lap than the car in front of you, it's very hard to find somewhere to overtake. You're basically waiting for the car in front to make a mistake. As you said, if you can float around in their mirrors a little bit, or a little bit sideways there from the Bentley, and that opens the door for Neighbour to get in his mirrors, although Hill up there is also looking to make a move on Pickford, so this is getting very spicy very quickly here. Cardillo
got a good run.
Oh, this is not Kovacs on Kovacs death, is it? Every single event we see Kovacs on Kovacs death. They keep it reasonably clean. Cardillo has to take a huge chunk of that chicane and more, which compromises his exit and allows Martin to have a look.
Again, not really any place to make the move stick. It's just, it is such a tough track to make a move, and I think I can see a BMW in the background. I think it's a lap down, just starting to come into picture there. It's a lap down, so probably not an issue. But, Reeves, he lost a lot of time in that first sector, but he's made it up instantly, just coming up the hill, and he's left Neighbour and Cardillo behind.
Speaking of neighbour, it's the great man's birthday. He's picked up a couple of penalties for his troubles. Stewards have said, happy birthday to you. But it is indeed his birthday. It is replay. What do we got here?
Oh, no. It's that red and white BMW again. Oh, that's
Taylor is the blue McLaren. The two BMWs giving a little look through the chicane. Yeah, that's a bit of an incident back there between the BMWs. Attack.
It's an ambitious move from the blue BMW on the outside there, but leave that up to the stewards, I think.
Casey Hall says thank you very much and picks himself up 2 positions as he cruises on by.
Here we go, Reeves. He's sort of massaging a move here on Hill. Just see him working the rear bumper of the Ferrari. So Hill, he was looking so strong and pressuring Pickford. Now he's got to withstand the pressure. And now we're in the section of the circuit that Reeves is super strong in. Here he comes. Hill's going to try and make him go the long way around and see if he can pull it up for the hairpin, and maybe Reeves can try and get the switchback happening. He does, but just not able to get an overlap.
That's good defensive driving from Hill. Just puts his car in all the right places there, making Reeves go the long way around. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Did we just have a disconnection there?
Just as we were coming into the final chicane and those guys were looking like they were going to make a move. Oh no.
Did we just curse the stream as well? Because we were saying, oh yeah, we haven't had any disconnects. Everything's fine.
The last
Everything's
thing I want
fine.
is the broadcast PC to disconnect. Jesus.
You're supposed to curse the competitors, not us.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the Korean and Japanese or Chinese characters to come up in chat or something, and the calling card. Have you seen all of those? The DDoS attacks, all the SRO streams and Jardier streams and all the big European streams have just been getting slapped with these DDoS attacks. Now chat's getting involved. Yes, chat. We believe we've been DDoSed. No, not really. I don't think so.
No, we have.
It's a little bit different to that. We're working on it.
Nah,
We'll be back, promise.
Mr. Jacobs, what's happened to you, my friend?
nah, it's a DDoS, mate.
Is it really?
Bugger. Is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Well, it's not funny anymore.
I'll be back.
Well, we may as well answer some questions from chat. Got a good one here from Ultimate Local. What's your favourite food and/or drink to eat or drink while commentating?
Water. Water is my super juice. I drink a lot of water.
Oh, actually, watching an Enduro. Sorry, I got the question wrong. Geez, coffee. Lots of coffee.
Well.
Well, this does happen. This is part of the game. But we have got the A team on high alert at the moment in the background.
The hamsters are spinning their wheels.
James kept it in chat there. My favourite food is a working server. Well played, sir. Well played. Oh, hang on. No. We'll be back soon. I suppose we should do something that's entertaining for everyone just sitting back at home, looking at a blank track, unfortunately.
Wait, I don't know. Are we even live? Chat, can you hear us? Chat, can you give us a yell? Can you hear us? So they're all still chatting.
Yeah, they're all still chatting. Now for a word from our sponsor, Darren's DDoS Deliveries.
I don't know if they can hear us. I reckon we're just here talking to ourselves. Hello, chat. Maurice. Mac Daddy. Pigger. Diabols. Yes, we can. Hello. Oh, all right. They can hear us. Hello, chat. We love you. We can't hear you. Shut up, Firelord. Hello. Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I don't have any further questions. I was enjoying the battles. I was enjoying the on-track action. I just want to... Now I'm upset and disappointed.
He's been all up. Look, Chad, he's been worked up. He's been very, very excited for this, and now he's just been let down. Like, I mean, got to give him some space at the moment. Okay.
What do we do? Can we all get into the Discord and play some of those new Discord games? There's there's this little mini golf game, which is pretty cool, and I like it. And then there's other games, and maybe we could just start a Discord game. Is that a thing?
Well, we can make it a thing. And we could also talk about motorsport. I mean, everyone's tuned in to see some pixel racing, but we can talk about real racing. Mac Daddy, no, I don't think we should punch on. That'd be quite hard. Actually, hang on. JC, where are you broadcasting from?
I am broadcasting from my home, and I have a really big computer desk, and I don't know.
I see where this is going.
I've got a really big deck. No, I don't know. It's yeah. My rig slides over, and I just use it as my home PC / rig setup. So the rig just slides over on the carpet. I'm not finding anyone. No. I'm a non-violent person with a very particular set of skills. Oh no, that's a banana reference. What about you? Where do you stream from? Is it next to your rig? Is it on your rig? Do you?
I used to stream from my rig, but now I've got a bit of a better house at the moment. No, I'm just streaming from a computer desk, and well, in Canberra, I should say. That's more to the point. I mean, we're having Mac Daddy suggesting punch on. I'm assuming he was assuming that we punch on, but if you're too far from Canberra, that's not going to happen.
I'm not doing that. Matter kick the shit out of me. I'm only small boy. I'm like 5'10", 80 kilos. Everyone could just run over me. I could probably run fast.
Taller than me, mate. I'm like 5'7".
Oh,
20.
right. Okay. All right. Well, shit, I'm down then. Give me a ticket to Canberra. Let's go. Paige, what are you doing?
Feeling annoyed? You?
Yeah, mate. We're all feeling annoyed. We're all a little upset. I actually forgot it was a thing until it occurred. And then I couldn't believe it would happen to us because we're so friendly and lovely here in OCE. And I just thought it was a European thing. So it is what it is. How was your...
And then was running fourth, bended at the chicane, almost got down to sixth, and then got back up to third by the time the DDoS happened.
I think we actually still are live, by the way, but yeah.
So what does the DDoS look like in the car? Like...
It's just a bunch of Asian characters that show up in the chat box. And then this one, it went down almost immediately. There was like 4 batches of chatty things, and then it went down.
But like when it goes down, like do all the cars just freeze, or
No, no,
No,
it's
you
just
see
like a
that little
normal server
black
disconnect.
box in the bottom that says it's disconnected or something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just it's frustrating. I don't see what people stand to gain from it, honestly, apart from ruining other people's fun.
Yeah, sadly, for some people, ruining other people's fun is their fun. And I think I speak for everyone when I say that they could jump off a cliff, because that would be fun for us.
Only if we get to put weird characters in their chat before they jump off.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what, that would have freaked me out a little bit, because when I'm racing, I turn off the chat box, so I wouldn't have seen anything.
Ah, okay. So it would have just been a normal disconnect for you then.
Yeah, 100%. So,
Oh, look out. Hey, chat, guess what? I have a big present for you. And when I say big, I mean only because it's awesome and exciting, not because he's larger than anyone else. I don't actually know how. Actually, I've seen him do Malcolm's and I know he's fit. Anyway, it's David McNulty. Bender, welcome.
Yes, hello everyone. Thought I'd come by in this brief interlude and see how everyone's doing on this Saturday afternoon, or at least that's where it is me.
So we're all just in here chatting shit at the moment while Neil plugs away in the background doing his hard work and trying to get the hamsters fed and spinning again. 6 out. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of love for Watkins. There's a lot of people saying, let's get Watkins going. So we're already 1 hour down out of the 7 hours. So we've got 6 hours left and a lot of love for the 6 hours of Watkins. I've literally not driven it yet, so I don't want that. Thank you. We've got no setups. We've got no pit strategy. We've got half of us haven't driven the track yet. No, I'm not keen.
It's like excuses. I think we should do it.
Have you done any of the new tracks yet?
I've only done Watkins. It's awesome. So much fun.
Yeah,
I haven't. Sorry, Bender.
I was because I haven't tried the new tracks yet. I didn't want to download or install anything before the race this weekend, just on the off chance that something goes astray. But yeah, I think Coda's going to be the first track I'll give a crack at.
yeah, I'm probably on board with that. I'd enjoy Coda, so I'll probably go for Coda.
So far, the most frustrating thing at Coda seems to be just the track limits, which are very strict, but it seems to make for some good racing. The streams that I've watched and stuff, there's quite a few overtaking positions, and it's quite technical, so it looks pretty fun.
Just had a suggestion from one of our co-commentators who'll be joining us a little bit later. He suggested we call this a red flag because of track repairs.
Yes, like that.
Seems reasonable.
It sounds better than DDoS, though. Okay. Yeah.
Everyone gets a free pit stop. Everyone knocks off one of their mandatories. Or are we just... What does a red flag mean in F1? They don't get... Oh, yeah, they complete their mandatory, don't they?
You can swap tires. You can do repairs. Yeah, you can do all of it.
Asking why I start from the back in public forums at Watkins, because it's fun, I think, if I recall correctly.
You think? Shouldn't you know?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I enjoyed it.
You're not convincing me. You're not convincing me.
It seemed fun at the time, I think, if I recall correctly. I don't know.
It's either fun or it's not fun. Can't be.
90% of the fun of public lobbies is starting from the back and just embracing the chaos.
I think I've done that once, but I play with VR and it's terrifying. You know, cars flying left, right, and center. It's terrifying, man.
Have you seen the accidents at Watkins Glen, especially when you go up the S's there?
I haven't done any laps of any of the new tracks. I've just downloaded them and I've just haven't had time, basically.
Yeah, I imagine there'd be a lot of people just sending it because no one really knows where to brake. That's usually how learning new tracks goes, right?
You know,
The problem with... Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
the other cars are your brakes, Bender.
Yeah. No, like the first corner at Watkins is not too bad actually because it has like a really wide runoff, so that's fine. But then the S's is very narrow walls, and it's completely flat. So if anybody touches anybody else, whoever's behind them will just die pretty much because it's almost impossible to avoid it.
You're being told to get back in TeamSpeak, you naughty boy. Have you jumped out of there to come and chat to us? I love that.
Apparently it's go time. I'm going to have to depart as well.
Thank you, Bender. Good luck, Peach and Bender. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me for this brief interlude. I'll leave you all
We've
on
loved
a fun Bender fact. It wouldn't be a stream without a Bender fact.
Oh!
99% of all rooms in houses have a spider in them. There you go. Catch you later, boys.
Thanks for making us all feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, I just
there,
looked
Bender.
around at the corner of my house.
Oh, God, I'm not lying.
What a
did he
savage.
get you? Did he get anyone in chat? Be honest, everyone.
No.
How many of you just checked every single corner of your room?
I like spiders too, though, right? So I wouldn't even care, but I still couldn't not look.
Yeah, I don't mind huntsman. I don't mind the daddy long legs, but yeah, every other spider, nah, I don't really like them. Oh, jumping spiders, sorry, I like them too. But yeah, nah.
99% sounds like a weird number considering your house probably has like what, 10 to 15 rooms. So
10 to 15 room? What? You're living in a mansion?
are you not?
No.
No, I've got. They're not all bedrooms, but he didn't just. He wasn't talking about. He was talking about rooms. Yeah.
I've got like 6 rooms in my house.
Oh,
Not a very
okay.
big
Yeah, I've got 2 stories, and I'm counting the garage as well. So I just sort of figured. But again, even if it's like 30 rooms, even if you've got 47 rooms, 99% seems like a weird number if you're trying to devise that many rooms. So I reckon he's fact bullshit, Bender.
Well, 60% statistics are made up, you know.
Yeah, spot on. Diabols. Whitetails can get right in the bin. I don't like redbacks or whitetails. They get squashed. Everything else, I will happily pick up and put outside. Huntsmans and daddy long legs, they can just go on my hand or my arm. That's fine. Anything that I don't recognize, I'll sort of put into a cup or, the cup and paper trick where you just slide the paper underneath the spider and then put the cup on top. But yeah, if it's a whitetail or a redback, it's straight under the boot. No fucking around with those ones. They are nasty. Jan has 2 spiders. One is called Norman and the other is Ralph. As in, you keep spiders? Are they pets? Are they like... And if you are keeping them, are they in like a spider tank? Like a... are they... And what, are they exotic spiders? What are they... I'm interested now. I want to know what's... Oh, Jan, put them in the Discord. I want to see them. If they're like big, huge tarantulas and you keep them in a spider cage? No, not a cage. You'd probably just crawl through them. What am I thinking of? Spider tank.
Sort of, terrarium sort of thing. Maybe.
If that's the case, I want to see it.
I'm actually quite curious too. Don't know many people that have pet spiders.
Hello, ACC Endurance. The event will receive a full restart to the original grid and removal of all previous session results, incidents, and penalties. It will now be a 6.5-hour race. If you need server information, DM. Work together to ensure we get this up and running again. Apologies for any inconvenience. So, we are going to see a full restart. Reduce the duration from 7 to 6.5. But other than that, all penalties, everything else wiped clean. The slate is anew.
Well, I can guarantee you that half people will be cheering and the other half will be, well, probably, I don't know, 25% of people will be a bit upset and 25% of people will be completely indifferent.
Yeah, that's probably a good amount, I reckon. I reckon you've absolutely nailed that. I'd be in the 25% that would be again, not particularly unhappy. I'm just happy to be racing. But our team had a great start, and I was enjoying watching Jacob go about his business. He'd had a great start, so I think we made up a spot or two. So, yeah, the restart not working in our favour, but certainly not unhappy. I would suggest that we'll be pretty happy just to get racing. But no, you're right. There's a couple that would have fallen to the back or had penalties to their name or what. They'd be very pleased.
I'd like to say that I'd be in the indifferent camp, but I'm not racing either.
Got to get you racing for the next one. I reckon we can sort that out. I know you said you wanted to do solo since you're a solo man, but we can sort something out. We'll find some people you can play along with, especially for the shorter events. Maybe like a 4-hour event where it's only one person you've got to get along with.
I mean, if it's something like that, I'd probably just rope my brother in again. Probably just run a pro-am entry, but no, I'm quite happy to sit here in the commentary box and commentate everyone else racing. I think it's just the least I can do, really, given that I raced all the sprint events. So yeah,
Did very well too. I don't know how the hell you were left in pro-am.
I wasn't in pro-am. I was in pro.
Season before you were in pro-am, and you just
season before, but
destroyed the
we
pro-am.
we don't talk about the season before last season. That doesn't
Absolutely
exist
smashed
anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. That just happened. No, happy that I got put up to pro again. Certainly tried to do my best to keep the other pros honest, but I think I struggled a little bit. But it doesn't matter. We'll come back for the next season. I'm excited for the next season of sprint. So yeah.
You are going again then? Are you staying in the Nissan?
Yes, I will be. I was almost tempted to try the Honda. I might try the Honda for this next season, maybe. But I don't know. I'm sort of one of those guys that doesn't really get a lot of time to practice. So once I find a car that I'm happy with, I don't really want to restart again.
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to move away from the McLaren. I just have so much love for the McLaren, and I'm so comfortable in it. But there's a lot of love for the Honda, so if you migrate over there, there'll be plenty of people who join you. I know a lot of drivers switching from the Aston or the BMW or even from the McLaren, and they're going to have a crack at the Honda. The Honda is the place to be this next sprint series. So if you do go there, there'll be plenty of assistance in regard to strategy and setup. So that'd be my recommendation to anyone who's going to change car next season. Go and have a crack at the Honda.
It says a lot when you have people that are moving from the Aston to the Honda. Like,
yeah.
It's the Aston is probably the go-to car for just about every single circuit. It's the everyman's car. It's the jack of all trades, really. So for people to jump from the Aston to the Honda, that says something about the Honda.
Yeah, I agree. Pyroshark, McLaren is the best car. I'll be staying around at least for one more season in Team McLaren. Always a very good vibe in Team McLaren too. Don't know what it's like in other teams, but there's always plenty of chat in Team McLaren. So yeah, I've always loved just the team environment in Team McLaren. But the car itself it feels like a race car. It's so smooth. It's so good. The Aston's just too heavy for me. So hard to get around tight corners. The Bentley's too loose in the rear end and just so temperamental. The BMW feels boring. Like, I feel like it would be quick if I could put time and effort into it, but it just doesn't feel fun to drive. And the McLaren's the way to go. It's so fun to drive. Feels like a race car. Sounds good. Looks good. Doesn't like damage. Please stop hitting me. I'm not very fast when I've been damaged. It's terrible when it's got damage.
Yeah, I have to say, Team Nissan was a little bit quiet last season. I think we only had a handful of drivers, maybe 3 or 4. But that was okay. Had Ben Piper in the team, and Ben and I are actually real life mates. We both used to race go-karts, and so we have a bit of a familiarity with each other, and it was a little bit like real life racing again.
Aston V12. Yeah.
No, I agree. Aston V12 is God. That noise.
Sounds so good.
Oh,
Yeah,
yep.
agreed.
So good. So good. I think Aston have actually made, is it a V12 or a V10 for their hypercar?
I don't know the answer to that one.
I will get the facts, but I do
I'll
remember.
check it out, yeah. V12, V12 and the Jag. I wish they did actually update those cars in ACC. I'm all for variety and trying new cars and stuff. We wouldn't have to keep releasing DLC if you just updated the cars we've already got.
Yeah, it'd be fun if we just did a race with all the older GT3 cars. I reckon that'd be interesting.
Yeah. It's an Aston V12 Jag spec series. They're the only two allowed. Is there any other that would fit into that category, you reckon?
The 2015 GTR.
Okay, yep, there's another Nissan. I didn't know that, yep.
Probably, I think the 2015
older...
R8 is in there as well. The 2015 Bentley is in there.
Oh, like the Rita? Does that go in there?
The Rita.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, the Lambo,
Rita?
the REX. Yeah.
What did I say? Rita? It's not a Rita. It's a
Rita, I think it is.
Sorry.
It was Rita.
Yeah, so just get all the old boys out, put them into a spec series, just have them all racing around each other. Sounds like a good shout. Oh, we're on our way back now. Tell Matt, JC, would like to share sets in the Nissan if he stays in it. Oh yeah, no, he knows. He's aware.
I'm in the Nissan for the next season.
He's hanging around. We couldn't talk him out of it if we wanted to, but we don't want to. We'd love to see him go around in the Nissan again. What's the harder part's trying to get you out of the Nissan Ultimate Local. How the hell are we going to get you to try out another car? How much would we have to pay you to make that a thing? How much, like, let's say for a season, what is your dollar sign? How much would you have to be paid to drive a car that isn't the Nissan? That's my question. And there's got to be an amount. You can't say, oh, there's no amount. I'm Nissan till I die. No, that's not no. Seriously, if I paid you like $4,000, if I just PayPal'd you $4,000 right now, would you drive something other than the Nissan next season? That's my question to you. You're full of questions, and I love your questions, and I love that you bring your questions in here to chat, and you give us something to chat about. That's my question to you. What is your dollar sign to get out of the bloody Nissan next season? And that's just a hypothetical question too, right? Well, I know that you're not actually going to do that, and I'm certainly not going to pay you $4,000 to do it. But hypothetically, what would be your dollar sign?
Also, how to answer to my statement about the Aston Valkyrie, which is the hybrid hypercar that will be running at Le Mans, I believe. It is a V12, Cosworth V12. Thank you to Diebols and Ferris for answering that for me. I did happen to see a trackside video of it, and it was glorious.
This is the most DMs I've received in my time here.
Yeah, Sam, I'm getting DMs as well. Don't know why.
Are you? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm just getting all sorts of different DMs from the people. Very popular. I love it. Keep sending your messages. I've got one suggestion here, asking whether we should do some driver interviews in the meantime. Get a couple of the drivers in here and see if they want to answer some questions. But my only concern there is I don't have any questions ready. I'm not ready to interview you. Other than, how is your race going? I've got no other questions at the moment. But it's a good shout. I reckon that's something we could tee up. Once we've got everything going again, and the race is back on track, it's not a bad shout.
No, apparently, according to Ferrex, Valkyrie isn't going to Le Mans, which is a huge shame. Just trying to find any information. It's a bit up in the air. I could have sworn I heard during the last. Oh, hang on. There we go. No, there. Bureaucracy. Goddamn politics. Honestly, is there anything good that politics has ever brought us? The answer's no, by the way.
Julia Gillard was pretty cute. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah. Yeah, you
Oops.
did.
Whoops. I love red hair.
Just
I'm
gonna
all
brush
for
that
red
one
hair.
under the rug.
I'm all for red hair, and I love women who know how to take control. So she had both of those things going for her. She was all right, Julia.
Did she? Did she really?
And then we all said, no, that's enough. Get out. We all kicked her out.
Actually, technically we didn't. That was Labour that kicked her out. Ooh, pre-race rituals. There's a good question. You got any pre-race rituals, JC?
I try to stretch. Do a lot of stretching. Because I get really nervous. I get so nervous, especially before qualifying. Qualifying's the worst, which is why I've liked qualifying for Zolder, because we got a whole week to just do laps whenever we wanted. And you just punch out 100 laps, and it felt like the nerves weren't there because of that. Whereas the 10-minute qualifying session that we have for Sprint Series, I get so nervous. Oh, I can't deal with it. I've been practicing all week, and I've got a personal best, and I'm looking really good, and then I'm just like a whole second off the pace. It's like, So I try and stretch. That is about the only pre-race ritual I do. I haven't got any mantras or, whatever. Because I'm a family man too, so I just cook dinner, do the dishes, that sort of stuff. And then after all that's done, as I said, I just come up here, I just close the door, and then I stretch. And I don't even have a stretching routine. It's not like I'm stretching anything in particular. I just try and relax. I just try and get all the butterflies out of my freaking stomach because I'm so fucking nervous all the time. What about yourself?
You okay there, Chief? You good?
I'm okay. Qualifying, get in the bin.
I don't think I do. I don't think I have any pre-race rituals. I just find that I just try to chill out. I didn't, like when I was racing karts, I just sort of sat back in the deck chair, had a bit of a joke with Dad, maybe had a bit of a joke with some of the friendlier drivers that were around me. And otherwise, yeah, just try to put as much out of your mind as humanly possible, because I used to, when I was younger, try and plan the race out, and then of course, race started, and it didn't go to plan, so the whole thing was out in the bin. So I stopped doing that, and everything just became so much easier.
Yeah, nice. Much more in control than what I've got going on.
Well, it's what I find to be best for myself. I'm sure I'm not particularly superstitious, so I don't have any consistent ritual. I just chill out, and that's it.
Diaballs makes a good point, and it's not necessarily superstition, but I do this. Diaball says that he wears the same race shorts for F1. It's not a ritual, but it is the same sort of thing. I've got the same sort of thing too with my socks, right? And then it's not a particular set of socks. I've just got, I don't know, in your drawer, right? Have you got like 7 different varieties of sock? Like you've got a couple of ankle socks, you've got a couple of, you've bought socks from Big W, and you've bought socks from Target, and you've got a couple of different varieties of socks. I've got one variety of socks that just seems to work really well for my pedals in my rig. So I'm always looking for this certain, I've got, I reckon, 4 pairs of these socks, and I have to have one of those pairs when I'm sim racing, because they just seem to, they're not overly grippy, but they're also not super slippery. They're just perfect for my pedals. So if I don't have one of those sets of socks, then I feel like I'm slower.
Could always just order yourself a pair of karting boots. That usually does the trick.
Nah, I can't wear boots. No way. I can't wear boots or shoes for the sim rig. No way.
I'm the complete opposite. I can't sit in the sim rig unless I got the boots on.
Right.
The pedals are just, I don't know, it's just uncomfortable for me. I guess the only relative thing to that is I just have a shirt that I wear. It's like a sort of light fabric sort of thing. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just like a very not quite. It's not lycra, that's for sure. It's just some sort of really light fabric. It just yeah, it's just easy breathing. That's about the only thing I have that's consistent every time I race.
So we have an update. We're on screen. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So we're going to have the race restarted. It is going to be a 6-hour event. This grid that you see before you is based on qualifying. And as we said before, all of the penalties and whatnot that had been handed out before, they've all been reset. So it is just a qualifying grid as it had started at the start of the 7-out. And it will be a single file start to the race. So when we kick this off in 1 minute and 20 seconds, we will go for a single file lap and then a single file start to the race just to get everyone away nice and cleanly. And we will get racing again.
Yeah, hats off to the Octane team, basically Moles in the background, getting this all back up and running. Certainly new for me. I didn't even know that DDoS things were a thing.
Have you not seen it? Oh, it's been all the rage lately. All the SRO races and all the big events in Europe, and even, as I said, like Jardier is not doing, huge events. He's just doing his own streams, and he's getting smacked as well. And so it was always the fear coming in because it has ramped up recently, those attacks. And yeah, I don't know squat about them. I don't even know what DDoS stands for. So I don't know what it is, and I don't know how it happens, and I don't know how we've got it going again. Mull's a wizard. Yeah, he's a wizard, Harry, and he's got it going again. So, as you said, hats off to that man. So, yeah, here we go again. Round 2, 6 hours to go. Nice, clean grid. No damage, no penalties.
Clean slate for everyone.
What I am noticing, actually, I might just be noticing this because ACC does this, not because it's a thing, but there's a couple of different names that I'm seeing on the grid. I don't know whether cars have swapped drivers or if that's just ACC playing its Driver 1 game and a couple of swaps would have occurred. Like the one that I can see straight off the bat is car 616 in P14, Fluke in the car at the moment. That the race was started by Pignata. So I don't know, when we go past the first timing sector, does that name switch to Pignata because they've done a driver swap? I think Alex Imey in P21, car 30, that's another one. I think that was being driven by a different driver. I can't remember who started the race for them. So, yeah, I don't know if drivers have swapped over a bit or if that's just ACC doing its timing board thing. We'll soon find out.
Ooh, got cars off the track already. That's the Honda. Was that Weatherburn? Or I think that was Weatherburn off the track already.
Oh, come on, Yoda, what are we doing?
One job, mate. One job.
DDoS means distributed denial of service. I am now even less clear as to what that is. What?
You and me both.
Should have just kept it at DDoS. Now I'm even more confused.
Has it just been specifically sim racing, or has it been attacking other things?
I don't follow other things, so I don't know. But it's definitely been having a red-hot crack at ACC in particular. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I broadcast F1 on Sundays, and it's never happened there, so it might be just an ACC thing. I don't know if it's happening to like FIFA leagues or Pokemon leagues or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Davey. Right. All right, into the final sector we go. Who knows what time it is? Who knows where we're going? But what I know is we're about to get going again. Down the field. It is Pignata in the car in the 616, so it is going to be the same drivers kicking us away. Around they come, and it's a good start from Lamb. Looks like he's led the field away and got the jump nicely on Stephen Ty.
Green light, go, go, go.
Not necessarily caught napping, but Lamb just got a really good start, so away he goes. It is green flag racing now. That is Pignata. Having a look down the inside there of Brooke. Thought better of it. So this will be interesting. Are the nerves back because it's race start again, or is everyone still feeling hamped and hyped and stuff from where they were before? I don't know. I don't know where their heads are going to be at. I'm still not really back in the box yet. I'm glad that we're racing again. Let's go.
Indeed, we've got a bit of a battle here. The single file restart has sort of made it a bit tricky for a few drivers that they were starting way back near the hairpin. So they've had to negotiate that final chicane as They dive through this painful first chicane. Watching the battle for the lead of Pro-Ams with Hignett, Donaldi and Martin all nose to tail there as they head through the Villeneuve chicane. I think Hignett is probably looking the least settled out of these three, as Martin runs a little bit too deep. Actually, that's not the lead of Pro-Am. Take that back. I think that's Donaldi, Martin and Pickford. My bad. Again, we're seeing Josh Hill is looking pretty racy. Nothing's really changed for Hill and Pickford. They're still nose to tail. They were nose to tail at the start of the first attempt of the race. Here they are, nose to tail again. I see a little bit of a send going into the Jackie X chicane, actually. So Hill just pulling out of it. No, not Hill. That's Martin.
As I said, we've had a little break and we've just taken the foot off the pedal a little bit, so it's going to take us a little while to recover and get back in. But yeah, as you said, Noel's just got going again, and the guys are back in the car and we're off. And I think both of us have just been caught napping off the line a little bit. We're not quite ready to go.
Here we go.
We'll
Hill,
get there.
he's finally got his man. Oh, he's done that perfectly.
Nice work, Joshy. Yeah, nice tidy little move there. So he moves up to P24.
Claw's looking racy as well. You guys looking for the move into the chicane. This should be ambitious. It's tough to make a move there, although some say that the yellow Ferrari there. Who's that? Is that? No, it's not Bettinia. It's Reeves either. Who it was in the Ferrari? I think it was.
Dan Dewar got absolutely caught around the back of the chicane there. He got stuck in behind, which meant that looks like McLean got an opportunity to have a go up the inside of the next chicane. And he does get into the back of him. That was coming from a long way away. McLean just not patient enough through there, unfortunately. And Dewar is the one who pays.
It's
kicking
happening.
Off now. Oh no.
It's the big one.
Hold your brakes. Let's keep it together. We don't need a safety car now.
Chris Taylor's involved.
Yellow flags everywhere, sprouting up.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a safety car here. Cars recovering everywhere.
Rory McLaughlin's facing the wrong way. That's a tricky spot to get one done too. He's now the last person in the field, so he's got all the room in the world to return to pits. Doesn't want anything to do with it. Fair enough. Probably has too much damage. That's painful to watch.
Yep.
Back up to this battle here. Martin in a Donaldi and Hill sandwich. I say it's a Martin sandwich. The Donaldi and Hill bread in making the Martin sandwich.
Well, Hill, he's
Hill's
really
really good, hasn't he?
He's really quick at the moment. Gets the move done, so he's been released from behind Pickford. And sometimes this can happen. You just find a driver that is just so hard to pass. You get by him, you get up to the next one. Oh, very, very easy to pass him. Oh, easy to pass him. So it's just, I think Pickford, not disrespecting him, it takes a very good skill. He's the cork in the bottle at the moment, I think, maybe.
Yeah, spot on Tom Maloney. Yellow flags mean slow down and prepare to stop. I saw an incident there where one incident occurred and the yellow flags come out. A couple of drivers coming through there make it worse by not respecting the yellow flags as stringently as they may have. So, kick off. There's another little tap there.
They just hold it there. Who was that? Was that Brooke that got almost got turned around there?
I think it was missing up the back of Anson Zolder, but I might be wrong. It might have been Brooke as well. Whoever it was managed to save it and keep it straight and narrow. Nissan picks up a position with the bunt pass, so he'll probably get a little pen for that. So all the pro drivers up here holding their positions at the start. And the Pro-Ams from 21 down close those gaps. Hignett to pass Viney would be the first one if any of those are to mix up. And down here, Laurie McLaughlin, poor bugger, got absolutely murdered a couple of times and part of that incident previously, so he finds himself down the back mixed in with the AMs.
And McLaughlin out of the way. He straight into pit lane. Don't know if he's still carrying damage, but certainly not how we would have wanted this race to go about. But, I want to point out, Lamb hasn't really gotten away like he did in the first attempt. Ty Weston and Sonicus have all gone with him. So we see Matt Lowe hunting back Bartlett.
Don't jinx it, Sean. Now that you've said that, I don't know what's going on out there in Bomberland, but actually, hang on, that started at 1:45. Maybe that's a celebratory we won the game. Is it because we weren't watching it? I told you. That's what happens if we don't watch them. They do well. All right, maybe that's the case. Let me know. Sorry, back on track.
Back to this battle here for 22nd. Josh Hill lining up. Oh, that's almost sadness there. Pickford getting a little bit of a hip and shoulder there from who's that? Carnero. No, not Carnero. McLaws. My bad. And Reeves looking racy as ever in the Bentley.
He had so much pace before the restart, so very interesting to see how he goes. Yeah.
Oh, that was tight. He's just been so strong in that section. That Bentley it's like a bullet out of a gun. Absolutely. I don't know what he's done to it, but it's quick up the hill.
So Carnero loses out to Reeves there, and I think Minton snuck through in the BMW as well. And so now Carnero's under pressure from Lafayette Granado in the Ferrari. Carnero looked really quick in practice earlier this month, so he'll be looking to make those positions back. But yeah, as you said, the Reeves Bentley looks so strong coming out of the slow speed corners. Oh, there's an accident up here.
That's sadness up ahead.
That is
McLaws.
McLaws, yeah.
See if we can get a replay of that soonish. So it's still going on here. Hall and Andika. I think is that Andika? Yep, Andika. And the McLaren. Actually, is that Hall?
Hall's in the gold
Hall's
one.
in the McLaren. My God.
No, it's all good. That's McLean in the red one. McLean probably still yet to receive his penalty for that hit on Dewar previously. But yeah, this is Casey Hall chasing around McLean as we get the instant replay of what happened in turn 1 between McLaws and Pickford.
Should just be renamed to Instant Sadness. Oh.
Yeah, they're never good. They're never good instant replays, are they?
No.
It's never good news when you see the instant replay.
Maybe get that patched up. Instant replay to Instant Sadness, please.
So, oh my goodness, here's a move from Casey Hall. He's had to go right down the inside on the dirty stuff. McLean gives him enough space, but then uses all sorts of sausage to return to the track, and that compromises his exit. So Hall does well to put him under pressure, and McLean taking evasive manoeuvres ended up off track, which cost him a lot of pace, and Hall gets it done. McLean coming back at him though. Got a nice turn 1.
Switchback game is strong here for McLean. He might get the switchback coming into turn 4.
Looks like Hall's going to consolidate that position. McLaren's super strong around the first sector. All those medium pace sort of high speed corners. McLaren stinks around the first sector. So really, that's an aggressive shove down the inside from McLean, but he manages to pull it up. And
this is helping Andika in the Audi.
Absolutely. So McLean having to position his car pretty defensively, moves across the middle of the track and cuts off the approach for Andika. So Andika does well to be patient there, really. McLean and Hall battling away. He's not on hard tyres. We don't know that. Maybe he is on hard tyres. Maybe he's running. Is There's no different. Maybe he's running black tyres just to
Drive-through penalty for Hall. He actually takes that right now.
Right. Was that for track limits or for something else? Didn't
Possibly.
see an incident that he was a part of that would have warranted a drive-through. So potentially a track limits violation for Mr. Hall.
Bit of a shame. He was running really strong at the front of the AM field and taking up to some of the Pro-Am entries. So, well, tough lesson. Don't exceed track limits. Just a bit of pro advice there. But Blue McLaren very, very close to track limits, I'd say.
Plenty of places to get track limits around here though too, so they will come into play later on for sure. There'll be stacks of them, especially over the course of 6 hours. Whoa!
Oh, that's a lap car.
There, that goes on. Yeah, is it a lap car? Is it? Because that looked like a send.
Oh,
But if it's a lap
seeing
car.
blue flags. Blue flags.
Yep.
Flying. Matt Glow looking for an outside move into the Jackie X chicane. I don't know what happened there. I should have used the ear to let go and get a coffee.
Especially when they spell X with ICKX. Who does that? Belgium. Stop that.
Well, probably Jackie X's ancestors, I'd say. They're probably Dutch.
Glow got a little bit aggressive going into turn one there and ended up hurting himself really. So Kairoon gets that one done, picks up a spot, goes from 10th to 9th. Glow drops back to 10th.
There's that big P word, patience. Glow probably a little bit too eager to try and keep the pressure on the McLaren up ahead. And I mean, once you sort of expose that weakness in front of you, you know you have to keep attacking to try and get the move done. And unfortunately, Glow maybe just a little bit too eager, missed his braking marker, and had to back out of it. And that has allowed Kairodin to just get an easy position. We've got a decent battle here. Lamb, Western, Thai, and the Senecas team. They're all battling for the lead, so definitely the second attempt has made the battle for the front. Actually, this is going all the way down to 5th place with Jacobs in the number 18 Audi, right up behind Senecas. Now, is it JP or just John in the car, do you reckon?
I reckon it's Peach, because he joined us in commentary before and said that he's the one who started the last race, so I reckon it's Peach. Jean-Pierre would be in the car.
There's our answer right there.
Would be my guess.
Jean-Pierre down the bottom corner.
I'll tell you what I want to know is where is car 500? I can't see car 500 on screen, which is a little bit concerning. It's amazing how much of those curves they use. They must be on the edge of grip when they come off of those curves, and the suspension unloads and they get back on track, and it's amazing how much of those curves they use lap after lap after lap with so much consistency.
Very, very best. They can just, it's like a metronome. Watching some of the best drivers in the world, doesn't matter if it's sim racing, real racing, you set a camera up at a corner and lap after lap they will just hit the same bit of tarmac every single time, and that's the difference between a good driver and a great driver. We're right on board with Sean Jacobs. He seems to have dropped off the back of this fighting four. Maybe just hang back, just holding a watching brief, perhaps.
Tell you what, that 555 Audi has looked really quick. They might take it up to land in the front Audi. But these boys, especially Mitchell Weston, this whole car is strong. Look out for them. They're a four-man team, and every one of those boys posted ridiculously quick times in qualification.
You were saying, JC?
I forgot. I was interested in what I was hearing. They're a four-man team. Goodness me. Yeah, well, it's hard to pay attention when we've got that going on. Western is a four-man team. They are and that's what I'm saying. They're all very quick, as opposed to Lamb. They're a two-man team. They're both very quick as well, but just the quality of driver in that 555 entry. As I said, all their qualifying times really, really close. So they're a really strong team. We're going to see how they go. Western is really putting a lot of pressure on Lamb here, just quietly. And Stephen Tyer's got the purple lap, so he's no slouch either. He's hanging around. And then, yeah, as I said, Senekis, Jacobs, all within a second of each other. That top 5 battle looking really spicy.
Yeah, I have to say, the 315 out here is just not looking settled in this restart. See the car just sort of dancing around through turn 1, so perhaps maybe hasn't quite got the pressures just right in the restart. Or maybe the other drivers didn't get it right in the first leg and now had time to adjust and just putting that pressure onto Lamb.
Yeah, I don't know what's changed. You know, whether Western's just conquered what are the nerves there may have been in the first race. He's come out with no nerves whatsoever here. He's all over him. Lamb pulled out a 5-second gap in the first 5 laps last race. So the fact that he's so close, these two are battling so quick, there's something different there. This is probably just down to personal nerves. Western haven't conquered it.
I'm not complaining about a nearly 5-way battle for the lead. More restarts, honestly.
Yeah, well spotted from you, Diabols. It is quite a lot warmer than it was in the first. Well, I say quite a lot. It's probably not too different. There's probably 3 or 4 degrees in it, though. That might be something. But they're both Audis. So unless that's something super setup related, or maybe Lamb didn't spot the change in temperature, and maybe his pressures are just not quite in the window. Whereas Western maybe spotted the track temp difference and adjusted. And that might be, I'll tell you what, he's all over the back of him, is Western. Lamb's a very high quality driver, so I would not expect him to give this up easily. He'll put his car in all the right places, but they could not be closer.
Ty had a bad run through the Villeneuve chicane. This might give a chance for JP to get through. So they head up towards the long hairpin. Quite JP, so Ty survives another lap, but that has given a little bit of a break for Western and Lamb, so I might have to keep that in mind. But I think Ty should be able to sort of put a little bit of a gap between himself and JP. I think Ty's just got a little bit more pace than BMW at the moment. Just up ahead, we got some lap traffic, so this is where we're going to see some creative racing.
There's actually 2 pros that have fallen back through the field, so I can only see 18 pros. I don't know who the other one is. I know one of them's car 500. Pignet and Martin finding themselves in the top 20. They'll be happy with that.
Didn't make very happy shapes going through the first chicane.
And coming up to blue flag traffic now too, so if it wasn't already interesting, now they've got to navigate the blue flag drivers.
A track that is not easy to make a pass on. What these guys have got to consider, these guys are having their own race as well. So yes, they're getting the blue flag, so that doesn't mean they have to drive off the track to let them through. Ooh, that was tight.
It was nicely done there from the yellow BMW. They were aware of the situation and they had 5 cars make their way through.
Oh, here's a dive! Oh, that's... no.
Yes. So that was one
that was
car who thought,
oh
no, oh no, oh no.
Does
Tell
he
you
keep
what,
it out of the
Wheezy's-
fence? Oh, he has.
He's
He has
done
kept it
very
out
well
of the
to
fence.
keep that out of the fence. Yeah.
No, I think that was a bit unnecessary from Lamb. He probably could have given a little bit more room.
It's both. I thought it was both ways. Again, not going to pretend to be a steward. That's one for them to look at, and they'll have a bunch of blokes in there all having a look at that at the same time, boys and girls. But I mean, you're right. Like there wasn't a lot of room left, but it wasn't necessarily a gap either. So it was just both drivers being a bit stubborn, I think. And then yeah, later on, looked like Page maybe just not prepared for the slowing outie and also got involved. So yeah, that's a really tough one to judge. I wouldn't want to be a steward for that.
I think for JP it was a case of zigging instead of zagging, but
yeah, just got
Lamb
picked the wrong direction.
I don't know. I feel that Weston he had the overlap. Lamb probably should have given more room instead of trying to squeeze. I mean, you have 5 hours and 40 minutes left in the race. That was very, very silly, and this is ambitious. 3 wide with lap cars in there. Sean
Nice
Jacobs.
butter.
Yeah, that was Is he looking to go to the Isle of Man next year? Is that that was pretty ballsy.
That was precision. That's what you called for. You wanted.
Preci-
you wanted.
Oh!
No, that's
Oh!
So that's one cut. That is the pit entry. We spoke about that before. That is the pit entry coming to bite very early on. We are 23 minutes into this one, and we've already seen a pit lane entry that has caused an almighty boop. I don't know who that was diving into the pits there, but they straight up the back of poor old Page. He'll be livid.
And JP will have a lot of damage on the rear of that BMW. He is going to have a struggle time getting around the track. You'll probably expect to see that 191 BMW into pit lane. God, that was rough.
This is the one between the leaders.
Yeah. See, Weston had the overlap, but Lamb just kept moving over, and I mean that was silly. The move was never going to work for Weston. Lamb could have given room. He would have had the inside line for that last right-hander onto the main straight, and he more than likely would have kept the lead. But to squeeze, that was...
yeah, the squeeze wasn't on. You're spot on. The squeeze, that's not how you do it. But yeah,
I'm about to have a bit of a rant here because this is
I'm
something
down.
that I've really hated.
I like it.
That I've seen popping up in motorsport for quite some years. This nonsense of someone's beside you, but you're going to try and force them off the track. I don't know where that came from, but I hate it. It's absolutely stupid. It achieves nothing. It just damages equipment, ruins other people's races. Stop doing it. Stop it. Give people room. Rant over.
I liked it. My body was ready.
Instant sadness time. We're just going to see a replay here. Oh, actually, this might be instant amazement time.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah,
the
here we go.
butter.
Look at this.
Oh,
Precision, like a glove.
that's the best sort of replay. That's a great one.
Like a glove. That
So
was
blue
perfect.
flags or not, that's perfect. There's not enough room for 3 cars there, and he made it work. That's excellent. Slipping that through that gap. Very nice.
I'm just going to let that one go.
So dear oh me, what a shake-up we've got in this top 10 now. Let's try and recap what we've got. So Lamb currently still P1, but with the stewards overlooking a potential decision. Down to the chicane here, we're going to see a little move. No, I'll tuck it in, that's nice. So Jacob's currently in P2, having come from P5. Very happy, placed up there. Stephen Tye is in P3. Started P2, has the purple lap, but he's 10 seconds back off the front. Bushel in P4 has come up from P7.
Oh, that was perfectly done.
Nice.
Brooke.
Perfectly done. Rookie.
Is this going to be? Yeah, this is the instant sadness.
So this is the pit lane entry, is it?
Yeah,
this
pit
is
lane entry.
Peach, the purple one here, just minding his own business.
I think.
What is
I can sort of see what he was trying to do. He was trying to time it perfectly so he just whizzed past. but
No, that ain't it. That's a huge penalty. If that's not a drive-through or a stop-go or something,
well, it's in the pit still, so
that's a massive penalty for that one. You can't be having that.
no.
Poor old
no.
Peach just minding his own business, trying to go about his 6-hour race, and that car just thought, I'll just take the pit entry however I like. There are no cars in front of me.
Yeah.
If I pretend there are no cars, there are no cars. I don't know. Anyway. Woof.
Yeah,
Goodness me.
You got to drive smart wherever you are in the field. But you know, I might be an AM driver, so maybe learn a lesson with that. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a big pen handed down to the Audi. So there is, I think that is JP there. Oh, that was a little bit dodgy there.
I think that was Kovacs on Kovacs too, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong.
That's Carl
So it's
Johnson.
Carlos in the car now. So they've pitted. So Peach has come in the pit, repair the damage for the BMW, and now Carlos is in the car. And the car in front, I think that's Bushel. Car in front. We're just going to have a look here and see whether this damage is repaired. No, that's not repaired.
That might be a visual glitch.
Maybe, because it looks pretty terrible.
Yeah. Well, I saw the car was in pit lane. It'd be crazy if you're in pit lane not to get that repaired.
Yeah, so especially if they've pitted and changed drivers, you would assume that they've repaired the damage. So you might be right, it's just a visual glitch. But yeah, coming down into the hairpin, as you said, got very close to Mr. Bushel, who was in the 919 entry. So a bit of Kovacs on Kovacs action, especially considering that Carlos was blue flag at the time. So I don't know whether that was just a friendly hip and shoulder and they were just playing games with each other, or what was happening there.
Maybe just missed that there was just one more car in the line. That's easy to do.
Speaking of damage, that Carlson in the green and yellow looking one there, it's looking terrible up the front. The front of that car's looking really beat up. Claus was in that car before. No, this one's alright. It's the one behind. Oh, that's actually looking a little rough and guts too. Yeah, the bonnet's flying around. Got a bit of a happy face happening. We're only half an hour in. There's plenty of beat up looking cars going around.
Seeing a lot of pens out there as well down in the bottom half of the field. See McLean with a penalty, Abdurrahman with a penalty, Nian with a penalty, McLaughlin with a penalty. Everyone's got penalties down here.
Abdurrahman, you did well to take that on. It would have taken me an hour and a half to sort of read that out and get that out, but now I can just follow on from what you've got. I rate it. Nice work from you.
Oh, thank you. I'll forget how I pronounce it next time I see it.
Tell you what I'm seeing on the field is Reeves behind Hill again. Down there in P19, P20. Those two have been joint at the hip for the entirety of the first race. Now they're back together after Reeves, I think, started 26th and Hill was 22, somewhere around there. They had 4 or 5 cars in between them, and they've managed to get rid of all of them, and now they're together again. So Reeves and Hill can't separate them. That is a cut there from that McLaren. That was all over the inside of that curve. This is Lamb coming up to, I think it's Hall, the Casey Hall McLaren. I'm not sure who else is in that one. Look that up.
You know who else is missing from the Pro-Am leader, well, the Pro-Am line down the left-hand side there? Car 420. That's not there. I think it's, no, sorry, 720. 720 of Megan D. I thought 420 didn't sound right. Yeah, so Megan D way down in 40th. Don't know what has happened there. Probably sadness though.
Yeah, I don't know if the server reset benefited a few people or not, because Jacob Weatherburn there in P44 in a car 500, apparently he disconnected when he rejoined the race, but he didn't actually, it's not like his game crashed or anything, it just kicked him out of the server and he went back to the menu screen. So that was a bit of a sadness for the car 500, whereas Megan D's done a stop, so we're car 500 yet to do a stop, car 720 has done a stop, so obviously a difference in situation there, but yeah, it's the restart's not quite worked out for some people.
Okay, here's the battle for third. We've got Ty Weston and Cara Din battling away through this first chicane and on the way to the Villeneuve chicane, and they're not too, oh, well, they're actually 11 seconds off the back of the leading two. So So lap traffic not playing out to Ty Weston and Corridin's favour. I think, no, Big Nose is not behind these guys.
He's up there at P6 though. He's done very well. Started from P14, so he's obviously gained a few positions on track. But there's also this is Bushell going off. Eric letting us know that Bushell's had a bit of a whoopsie. Just a little gentle touch of the wall there. Nothing too sinister.
Yeah, I don't think the low slung NSXs like the motocross strategy with the chicanes. Here's a question. Attack Racing, is there a strategic reason for an early stop? My opinion, yes. Especially on a track like Zolder where it is difficult to pass. You can get a pit stop done, hopefully end up out in clear track, put in some fast laps, and make up some easy positions. But, can come back and bite you in the bum, like JC detailed a little bit earlier.
Yeah, if it is a bit of luck if you don't come out in a gap and you just get stuck behind. You've got to pass all these blue flaggers, or you are, lo and behold, you are a blue flag and you've got to get out of the way, then you're just costing yourself a bunch of time. So if you do come out in space, it can be beneficial, but if you don't, it can end up being worse. So more than a strategy decision, it's a bit of a luck decision, the undercut here, being so tight and technical.
Yeah, well, that's a good point from Tom Maloney there, looking at the track map. What clear track?
Yep. Look at all these cars crossing the start-finish line at the same time. Goodness me, I don't know which one of those is a blue flag, but that is a train. That's a gaggle. Hang on, here's McCaw's here. I was talking about McCaw's before. Oh, there must be two of those. So 422 is the car we're on board with at the moment. I was looking at 421. So they're in the same team. But look at these cars here. This is an absolutely epic battle. I don't think there's any blue flags happening here.
We've got time to look at the blue flags at the moment. Yeah, the 23 is blue flag. So now these three in front of the BMW, although that McLaren's getting pretty close as well. Who's that? No, that McLaren is also a lap down to not involved in this battle. We've got Claus, Daniel, and Abdurrahman, sorry. We'll get that right eventually.
No, you got it right the first time.
Yeah, and then I forgot how to pronounce it. This is what I do all the time. I pronounce a name, or I do something, and I come back to it like 5 minutes later. How do I do that again? Just wing it.
Yeah, unlucky Peach. We saw it, mate. That was a bad one, mate. That was bad. We see some bad incidents, but that was up there. That was a shocker.
Still wasn't as bad as yellow split at what was it, Zandvoort? Made it all at 3 meters.
Hardly got off the start-finish straight. Absolute car park. Yeah.
I was actually stoked by that. I managed to get through that somehow.
I did.
Were you in that race?
Pretty sure I was. No, actually, no, I split yellow. I wouldn't have been. I was I was in yellow.
Yeah, you were commentating. I remember going through the stream. Yeah, so back to the, oh, here we go. Back to the front. Corridin has actually, and so has Weston. They've both managed to dispatch a tie. So that releases Corridin and Weston to try and chase down Jacobs. They've got 15 seconds to make up on the lead too. So interesting to see if they can do it. Big No is actually closing in on the back of those guys as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there he is. He's right on the back of Ty. And he's sort of dragged Misson and Asundo with him as well.
He's fine, absolutely fine. Started from P14, he's got his zinger on, he's up here in P6. He's having a red hot kick. He's behind Stevie Ty, who's got the purple lap. He's putting him under pressure. As I said, they're missing doing nicely in the Aston behind him too. Towing along. In fact, Misson got a really nice exit out of that chicane.
I was about to point out that Big No went in a little bit too hot into the Villeneuve chicane. He It's gone a little bit hot here into the final hairpin. Nothing much that this can do about it.
Just floating around in his mirrors, just letting him know he's there. As you said, he has closed that gap in the last couple of laps. Now we'll see how much pressure he can put on.
No, it was missed the apex by a country mile there. So pressure is on. See a Honda coming out of pit lane there. It's an awkward pit exit too. They got an awkward pit entry and then an awkward pit exit here in Zolder. So everyone's got their heads on a bit of a swivel when they're going into the lane and even leading.
Beautiful livery too from these guys. The Golf livery inspired Rockets Evolved entry. I assume that's what they're going for. It's got the black on the back, but that front just looks like the Golf, doesn't it?
It certainly does. I've noticed in one of the, I think in the last season of Sprint, a couple of guys with McLarens, actually, and maybe one of the other leagues that I've broadcast for, a lot of the McLarens running a livery that's very much like the McLaren F1 team, and I see it. Yeah, it looks awesome.
That one that the McLarens did from Monaco, where it was literally supposed to, that was so nice. That was gorgeous. Where Lando got the podium, I think it was last season, or maybe the season before. They came out with the Golf livery, that was so nice.
I haven't modded too many of the 2022 liveries. Ferrari's a bit par of the course. You can't have a Ferrari without red. Red Bull's again standard, but I think I'm trying to think. The Aston Martin one actually doesn't look too bad. It's still all green, but actually doesn't look too bad on the new cars. There we go, our Supreme Leader letting us know that we're about to get some random shots here with the broadcast. Here we go. This has actually worked out quite well. We've got Matthew Lamb here. He's defending from Jacobs still. So they head through the Jackie X chicane, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Onto the main straight. So these guys are basically glued together. Restart has worked out for a few drivers. Definitely has been working out for Jacobs, but not so much for Lamb. Now we're going to be jumping around the box.
A bit of jumping around, yeah, but it's taking us to a couple of different close battles, so we're okay with that. Didn't realise there was so many cars this close on track. That is an expedition across the sand from the Ferrari, I think it was, of Rafik Priyanada. So not the ideal line through there. Although it didn't look like he lost too much pace out of it. He's still hanging on the back there, so it didn't cost him all that much. Oh, that is big.
That's a bit of sadness there. Alex Ivanov, he's been having it's been a character building stint for him, I think.
He's in P46. I don't think there's anyone behind him. So the fact that he just got hit from behind, I think he just got hit by someone trying to lap him. I don't know where they've disappeared to. Are they off the track back there, or are they get past cleanly? Well, not cleanly, obviously.
Yeah, definitely not cleanly. Yeah, not really sure, but there needs to be patience when you're up behind blue flag cars. Like I said, they're not. What's the word? Obligated to just jump off the track for you. You have to get around them reasonably, with a bit of reasonable respect.
Yep, so a two-car operation is a blue flag pass, and you don't want to be doing it into corners or chicanes or anything like that. You just got to be a bit patient. Patience and precision, Matt.
We keep coming back to those two P words, don't we? Oh, Matthew Lamb slapped with a drive-through.
Ooh, that might be track limits, because again, same thing. I haven't seen him get into any Unless he was the one who hit under blue flags? I don't think so. Don't know. Actually, I might go check it. Because I can do that. I'm going to go see. It seems like a very quick penalty. I think that drive through is for track limits.
I would say it is for track limits. He's been under a lot of pressure from Jacob, so the temptation is always there when you have got someone behind you, just to try and take that little bit extra millimetre off your line, and you'll need to go 1 millimetre too far, and you get a pen.
Yeah, nothing in here from the stewards. So the drive-through for our leaders is indeed for track limits.
Well, there was a Ferrari off to, no, not a Ferrari, that was an Audi off to the middle of nowhere. That was Carlson in the 421 Audi, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll tell you what I can see in the stewards' box is plenty of action. The poor old stewards have got their hands full. They would have whiskey in one hand and then pens and paper in their other two hands. That's how many hands they require. It's all happening in there. Gibbo in the car here in car 500. The milk entry going up the inside of, I think, McLaughlin, potentially. No, it might be Hind in the Nissan there in front of him. So coming from the back of the field is Gibbons, having started from P6 with Honda entry. Obviously the disconnect causing all sorts of issues, so just letting a few blue flags through there. Nicely done. Easy does it.
Guess what, we've got this break in consistent broadcast. Should we talk about some of the crazy track names that are on this circuit?
The crazy corner names? No, I don't want to. Don't want to. Don't make me do it. I'll use other commentators to talk about them. I don't want to. They are word soups.
They are the reason why you don't let the Dutch get involved with naming track corners. Let's be honest.
Some of these are horrible. Do you want to crack? I like turn 7. Turn 7 is just butt.
Yeah, that's definitely the easiest one. Canal Bock, we got in turn 3. I think that is just basically Canal Corner. If you look off to the left-hand side of the track, there is a massive canal that runs adjacent to the circuit. But the worst one on this whole circuit is the final hairpin, and you've probably all noticed me saying, you know, Villeneuve chicane, Jackie X chicane, and saying last hairpin. That's because the name of this hairpin, it is letter soup, really. Here we go. Boulder Burger Speidbock.
Oh,
that's I'm not saying that for, I'm sorry guys, I'm not saying that for the remainder of this race. I'm not saying it ever. Final hairpin, that's what I read.
My tongue got twisted listening to you say that. Yeah, as you say, they're letter soups. They're a mess. So.
Good advice. If you're building a racetrack and a Dutch person comes along to say that they will help you name all the corners, don't.
So, what are we? 45 minutes down. 6-hour race. 5 and 15 to go. On board with Reeves, who's been making moves in this Bentley. He's got a little 10-second penalty that he's got to hang on to at the moment. But other than that, doing very nicely. Matt, thank you very much for having me for my time here. I'll probably rejoin you for the last stint in the commentary booth, and we'll see how this one finishes off. But until then, I'd like to welcome 2 debutantes to the... Oh my goodness gracious. What is happening here? No, I just want to go out quietly. Sorry. Oh my God. Right, so Bintang, part of that was a couple of... I'm glad the camera's changed. That was death. Ugh. Anyway... Welcoming 2 debutantes into the Octane Online Racing commentary booth. Chat, please give us a hand for Damiano Thurglini. And also Mike Crick, who have joined us. Mike, hello.
Hey guys, how are we going?
We are very well in here. Me and Matt need a bloody rest, mate. This first 45 minutes has been toasty.
Definitely been eventful, that's for sure. Been watching from the sidelines.
It has been all happening. And Damiano, welcome.
Thank you, Damiano here. Yeah, it's been a great race. It's showing about the track repairs thing when you going on. It's certainly been very interesting up to this point.
We did like that's. I think that's a good shout. Someone in chat said it was a red flag. It happens in real racing. That's fair. That's what it was. It was a red flag. They had to repair a tyre barrier, and then we got going again. So it's probably the same sort of reset that those guys have to do with. So that's a good shout. As we watch. Oh, goodness, look how close these cars are as they come down into the chicane. They get it all sorted out nicely.
About to say, everyone close your eyes. This is not going to be real happy.
So once again, Matt, thank you for having me. Damiano and Mike will keep you company from here on in. YouTube chat, best on ground for this first 45 minutes. And I'm looking forward to chatting to you at the end of this. We'll see how we go. Until then, see you later.
Good luck, Jamie.
See you.
Okay, so Jamie Convoy, everyone, or just curses. He's been laying out curses left, right, and centre. That was a really good effort. He managed to curse us, curse the stewards, curse the stream, curse the race itself. I'm considering giving him back his crown of curses, actually. But
a little bit there as well. I put it in YouTube chat, so there's no penalties, and then all of a sudden, pop, 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 they all just appeared, and then a couple extra instants. So that was my fault.
There you go. You weren't even in the commentary box, and you laid out the curses. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was a good introduction.
Glad to see that Jamie and I don't need to mentor you too much with the curse giving. Anyway.
I'm going to give something to Mike. I won't take it.
I mean, you know, you've got to share around.
Yeah, spread the love, spread the love. We've got a good chance here if you want to lay out some curses. We have, if I'm not mistaken, we've got Pete Viney, Benjamin Hignett, and then Bushell in the Honda, all battling away, and we've got Reeves just behind in that.
Just saw a pass just there.
Yeah.
Viney, was it Viney who got past? No, Bushell
Yeah.
got past.
Bushell got past Hignett there. Yeah, nice little sneaky move into the Villeneuve chicane, and up to the final hairpin. So next on Bushell's list will be Viney.
Yeah, definitely taking advantage of the different car characteristics there a bit, I think.
Lamb's got into the pits there.
Yeah, Lamb had received a drive-through penalty just before you two gentlemen joined us. And there he is. Actually, I think this is going to be a stop. I have a feeling, just as JC was trying to sign off, that it was JC that ended up in the fence at the Jackie X chicane. And yeah, this is a stop. So, sad times for Lamb. It was going pretty well before the track repairs came up. Unfortunately, in the restart, just could not get back into his rhythm by the looks of things. Just, the car just was not looking happy, and yeah, he just could not get a gap. And unfortunately, he's succumbed to the pressure of Jacobs, who now inherits the lead in number 18 Audi. And let's see the gap there, never mind. We're back to this battle between Bushell and now Pete Viney just ahead of him in the 19 Bimmer.
You can see the difference there with the how those two different cars take those curbs. Having driven the Honda for way too many laps around here, it's definitely a lot trickier to take than the Beamer ahead. It's one area where he's going to struggle a bit, I think, chasing him down.
Sort of pointed out a little bit earlier in the stream, majority, the cars that should be super strong around the circuit will be the mid-engine cars, so that's why I think that is partially why we're seeing all the Audis, Hondas, and even some of the Lamborghinis and McLarens getting up there into the top 10, having a bit of pace. They just rotate and change direction a little bit faster than the front-engine cars, but as JC pointed out a little bit earlier as well, the mid-engine cars tend to do mid-engine car things, so tend to snap a bit, whereas the front-engine cars tend to be a little bit more stable. As we see Bushell, he's got a good run up towards the Canal Bock.
Excellent run there.
Yeah. Actually, that's not the Canal Bock. That's turn 3. Turn 4, and he's made that quite nice.
He's pretty busy. Oh no, they're still at 2 seconds.
Oh,
Spare there.
oh, motocross line there. Love the big old sends over the curbs. Such weird curbs as well. That chicane.
So much of the time is in that as well. That's definitely what I've noticed at Zolder. It's just taking advantage of those curbs and cutting the track as much as possible. Really gains you heaps of time, heaps of speed and pace.
Yeah, that's what I found. That second chicane was the track limits. So generous.
Yeah, you can take really big bites out of it, and I've found if you don't, it's it costs you. You easily lose half a second on each of the sets of chicanes.
It's very, very precise. Back to those P words, precision and patience. You found that there was a lot of patience out there during your stints, Jonathan?
Oh, I haven't been racing today.
Oh, haven't you? I thought you guys
No, I don't believe. No. I was one of the unfortunate people who didn't manage to get a lap quite quick enough to race today with these guys. Such a very competitive qualifying. I think a couple of tenths would have pushed me up maybe 20 different positions in terms of individual drivers. It was that close in qualifying. It was tenths and hundredths of a second separating everybody. So it was we're definitely looking at the best of the best here out of the almost 200 drivers, I think, who tried to qualify for the event. Yes,
That's right. It was 181.
181, there you go.
That's a good turnout.
That is something. Yes, well done to all these guys that are on track.
I'd just like to point out the lead Pro-Am driver 556 in the minus one.
556 Audi, yeah. Dylan Martin, yeah,
blue.
Yeah, he's been going quite well.
Qualified 23. Hasn't made his first stop yet, so because our stop should be happening about 5 minutes time.
Yep, I would expect to see the first pit stops starting to cycle through now. I believe it's 70 minutes maximum stint.
Yeah, 70 minutes.
Yep. So we'll be seeing some pit stops being made soon. I think some standout drivers so far. I think Misson has been quite strong, as has Pignata. They've both made some progress through the field. Martin, as you detailed a little bit earlier, has been quite quick in the Pro-Am, up to 12th. But this Bentley, just behind Hignett, the man we're focusing on now, Leslie Reeves, he has been absolutely rapid in this Bentley. Basically from the Villeneuve chicane right here, all the way up to that hairpin. Watch this Bentley get the drive. He has been rapid. He's almost had to drive off the track to avoid collisions. Obviously not this lap though. But, yeah, Reeves has been making moves all through the field. He's been battling away with Josh Hill, who's about 3 seconds behind. And there's been some sad stories as well already.
Yeah, quite a bit of sadness.
That pit entry was a bit awful.
Yeah, Zolder has got some cursed pit entry and cursed pit exit as well. So it's a tough one. I don't really know how to say this. It's found a cone there. Hello, little fella. How'd you get out there?
I mean, there's a lot of cones everywhere.
That's the second chicane chain, right?
Well, yeah, the second chicane, those cones survived all of about maybe 2 cars passing them. As we rejoin the action, Viney coming under some serious pressure from Hignett.
He's on a bit of a charge here. Really pushing possibly to make up as much time before they do their first pit stop, I'd say.
Western car 555 has made his first, looks like the first round of pit stops. I think he came in 4th and he's feeding back into 21st.
Yeah, I thought Western, I thought Trip 5 were leading. to the action at hand. Viney and Hignett still going at it. Reeves just sort of holding station. There's not really a lot he can do. He's sort of got to wait for the drivers ahead to make a mistake, and this might be a mistake here. We saw Hignett run in, Hignett run in a little bit deep into the X chicane.
Yeah,
And
Reeves is coming.
yeah, it's going to be a big send around the outside, and the Boatley,
Doesn't
bit of a
quite
slide.
catch it.
He managed to keep it out of the gravel trap though. That is quite a good save there from Reeves.
I must say he's been showing excellent car control in that Bentley, because he's been doing, as you were saying before, he's been doing a lot of battling, a lot of moving around, and he's doing really well to keep that car on track even when he's in compromised positions like that. So really good drive from him so far.
I thought that was some pretty decent let through for the blue flag car there.
Yeah, I have to say, I think that was car 78. I'll take my hat off to him. Certainly for Reeves, he showed a bit of patience as well. Read that perfectly. Sort of clenched there a little bit, because in those situations you just never know whether the car in front's going to stay on the race line or try and stay off the race line. A lot of sort of I don't really know, a bit of body communication, body language, car language. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely the car language of letting him through. So back to car 555. He's actually catching up to P24, so we'll see how that interacts with the rest of the pit stops from front runners, because he was racing with them just before.
Well, Reeves will be wanting to make up some more time there too.
If he gets held up there, he'll be behind him even further. So he's got to make the move.
Where are we going now? Back here with...
Well, we're asking you shall receive. Here is the 555. Big Chan behind the wheel at the moment. He's chasing down McLaws and Santo. So, and just behind is McLean in the 91 Aston, and there goes McLaws straight to pit lane. So there's one problem out of the way for Big Chan.
Yeah, potentially going for an early pit stop there.
Talked about the undercut being a bit of a thing in this race. So 70-minute maximum stint, a bit hard to sort of make that work across 7 hours of racing. Oh, sorry, 6 hours of racing.
Absolutely, especially with such a short track as well. There's not a lot of opportunity to undercut with clean track around here. It's you're pretty much always going to find a car within a couple of seconds, unless you're right at the front. Even then, you've got all those blue flags to deal with. So yeah, definitely an interesting one in terms of how you manage your strategy and how much clean air you're going to get, because it's just not really that available here.
We did point out a little bit earlier, looking at the track map, what clear track? There is no clear track on this circuit at the moment. It's basically just a case of hoping the guy in front of you has a bad run somewhere, runs wide, falls off the track somewhere. Again, we come back to that patience and precision.
Here we go, coming up to the hairpin. He's going to have a look. Oh, just a little look.
Oh no!
Oh, he's balked him. He's put him off.
He's
He's got through. Well driven. Well driven. And
patience.
Lost the seconds.
Yep.
Good move by Vic Chan.
Oh, I thought that McLaren was going into pit lane there. Just ran in a little bit deep. But, technically, no repeat of the Audi and the JP BMW as we rejoin our race leader Sean Jacobs. We've sort of forgotten about him. He's got a 20-second lead over Corridon in the 45 Honda, and a further 8 seconds in front of Stephen Ty in another Honda. Great to see a lot of Hondas out there as well. Did say it a little bit earlier, bit of an underloved GT3 car.
Yeah, it's a bit swapped over recently, as you were saying earlier as well, with the recent updates to that car and a few tweaks and changes. It's become quite popular and quite competitive, and a lot of people's opinions have changed on it recently. And I've been driving it myself, and it's just quite a good car around this track in more capable hands than mine, definitely. Yeah, it's good to see it out there, though. It's good to see something from Japan doing well, because the old Nissan's not getting driven as much anymore.
That's sacrilege. Nissan's a great car.
I absolutely adored it. Listen, I just drove it in the rookies for a whole season. It's probably my favourite car to drive.
Yes, it's definitely has a very smooth engine. I like it for that one.
Yeah. We'll say this about the Nissan, it does take a bit to get used to the driving style and the setup style. A lot more than, say, the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin is set over and over and over. It's a bit of an everyman's car for every track. Jack of all trades. Yeah, interestingly, a lot of people moving away from the Aston to the Honda, which is sort of says something about the Honda.
Well, I think one thing that the Honda does better is definitely its pace out of corners. As we see him here. Oh, he's coming. Just.
Oh Lord, he's coming.
Britt's coming around.
Here we go, turn 3.
And keep it around the outside. He's got him.
No, still going.
No, it's done now.
Done
so
now.
Paul Britt,
Excellent move.
very good move.
Well maintained, well held.
Might imagine a little bit of that patience you were talking about earlier there. Just maybe letting him through a little bit there, because we've still got 5 hours to go, so probably not worth doing too much of a battle at this stage.
Probably something that could be interesting. Position 27, 28, 2 cars in the stops, 999 and 1. See if they come, see who get the better pit stop. Only separated by 0.6 leading into the pits.
Yeah, we can see Josh Hill going into the pits as well, so looks like busy pit lanes now.
Is that McLaren a little bit beat up there?
Does look to be going a bit slow.
Yeah. That's David Bartlett in the 676 McLaren. Sitting there in 13th place.
You're very much off the pace.
Maybe just come out of pit lane.
Good catch by that BMW at the back there. Did you see him get sideways?
Yeah, I did see that actually. Oh no, instant replay. This can only mean instant sadness. I think we're about to find out what happened to our McLaren. Oh, he's run wide and collects the Audi, and the Audi's going drifting up the road. That is some instant sadness.
Well, that explains the drop off in pace there.
Yeah, that's the one positive for me missing out on this race is that pit exit. Oh my goodness! Even in practice, the dodging cars on the way out, hard.
And into the pits as predicted.
Yeah, well, I'd say it'd have a fair bit of damage on the front of that McLaren. So, be handling a little bit suboptimally. We've got a big gaggle of cars here. We're back with Hignett. Again, right in the middle of the action. He's all over the back of Viney. He's got Carniero just a little bit behind him. And 2 seconds behind, actually. Reeves has actually progressed up ahead of these guys. So Reeves continues his march forward in the Bentley. And in fact, he's way ahead of this little cluster of cars. So he'll be quite happy about that. Instant replay time. What are we about to see? Run a little bit wide. Oh, he gets a little nudge. Oh, no.
No,
3 wide.
You can do it. You can do it.
Oh, what on earth? Oh, that's a new one.
I think he maybe got balked by the cars. Deciding he went to dodge him. Yeah, the red car coming through. He went to missing as he was coming through by the looks of it.
Yeah, just one of the things.
I think what's happened was he went to move back onto the race line and then checked his mirrors and got the biggest scare of his life when he saw another Honda there. So, and then of course, when you panic steer in a mid-engine car, it just goes, no, we're not doing that. And it does mid-engine car things as Hignett into pit lane now. So, finally gets a bit of a break from the battling.
It's going to get really interesting now with everybody now starting to do their first pit stops. The track order is going to be all over the place.
Oh, the other thing is for all the car repairs. So once you make your pit, you also got your repairs to do. So your seconds are added there. So you could get really out of position.
There's poor Britt. the 315 car. This was the car that was leading. Then a drive through for Lamb and a little bit of a collision. He's handed the car over to Paul Britt. Paul Britt, very, very capable driver. He's all over the back of Maddox, I want to say, in the 119 BMW. See if Britt can make the move. See the mid-corner pace that this Audi's got over the BMW. So Britt doesn't want to hang around for too much longer. He wants to get around this BMW. Yeah, it's just so tough to make a move.
See they coats with the negative camber on that corner. Is that corner 3? What's it called? The Lycian Bianchi Bocht.
I will not be attempting to make too many turn number pronunciation.
Oh, Maddox around. Robert Maddox. Is it Maddox? Yeah, Maddox. He's lost it in the chicane. I want to say he's grabbed too much curb and the car's just gone, no, not dealing with that. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
It's so tough.
To his credit, good spin turn.
Yeah. Oh, flick turns. Everyone loves a good flick turn. But, he has lost a lot of time.
Yeah, he'll be kicking himself there a bit, I think.
So that is where patience will come back into it when you do make a mistake. Something that is very, very hard for any driver. It seems to be a common characteristic of a race driver. You make a mistake and you just kick yourself. You've just got to force yourself to go, okay, that's happened. Let's move on, focus on the next corner, and just let the mistake go. For a lot of drivers, it's a case of, I made a mistake, I've got to make up for the mistake, then you make another mistake, and it just snowballs from there.
Yes, extremely psychological.
You've got to be patient with yourself as well, not just the cars around you. You've got to be patient with yourself.
We've got about 2 minutes to go before the end of the pit window for 70 minutes. There's still a few teams out there that haven't pitted.
Yeah, should have a pretty busy pit lane coming up soon. It looks like an exit pit lane there.
Yeah, I was about to say, was that McLaren always there? Cause
McLaren just sort of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that pit exit is so tough. I don't know how many drivers are out there with VR, but those mirrors are basically useless in the car. You can't see anything out of them. And yeah, I've had the situation myself. Come out, you look, yeah, it looks clear, and next minute you just have a car just chop your nose off going through turn 2. So it's very, very easy to do there.
Doesn't seem to have impacted Muller too much. Still seems to be on the charge there.
Oh, here we go. Pit exit. There's someone coming out into a gaggle of cars. This is going to be interesting. I can't tell the number though.
I'm not seeing any yellows popping up on the map yet, so I'd say that they got through quite nicely. Here we are.
Yep, it's the one.
This is 7th place. This is... What's... Oh, there was a touch, but well held for Jeremy Walker.
Yeah, I don't think it's over yet though.
Being cold tyres, it's going to be hard.
That's who's that behind? That's one of the Lambos. Can't quite make out that name, unfortunately. The pixelation there. Connor Kingston, I think.
Oh, chicane tap.
Oh,
No. Another car around there at Villeneuve. A lot of people getting unstuck there.
that is cold tyres catching him out.
Yeah, I think he was trying to take it a little bit easy.
I think there might have been a touch. Never mind.
Yeah.
There was a little boop there, and that is painful when it happens to you. Just that slow rotation. You'd hate to see it. So there might be a pen coming as you see. I think that's Carl Johnson. So Carl Johnson, that's Kovac's BMW. He got involved in a little bit of a collision at pit entry with a lap car with JP in behind the wheel. So this has not been a bad recovery for Carl. Up to 12. He's battling away with Walter just ahead. So this will be a great comeback for the Kovac's crew if they keep going.
Nice little section of BMWs there, all lumped together.
Here's a good question. Do you call a group of BMWs a hoopla?
I mean, you could, but it's a little dangerous.
Or would you call it a flight?
Only if they're going to Poland.
Oh, now.
Too soon, too soon.
Too soon. Come on.
We got the edges out now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just tone that down a little bit. Moving on. Back to this battle at hand. So Johnson's still not able to get around this BMW of Walter as we head into the Villeneuve chicane.
It's definitely the story of the day. It's very much it's such a difficult track to find a nice, good, clean passing opportunity. You know, there's a few opportunities where you can really send it and push through, but if you're not confident and you're trying to take it a bit easy, getting an overtake around this track can be quite a challenge.
Yeah, 100%, Mike. It's like when you're qualifying, because some drivers, a lot of qualifying laps, so you're not with anybody. Then racing is obviously a much different story. So has anyone noticed where most of the passes have been made? Have been made leading to the hairpin, or second chicane, or first chicane?
It tends to be through this section here that we're on. I've seen quite a lot of overtakes, but I mean, people are overtaking almost at any opportunities. The hairpin seems to be a good popular one, particularly for the Hondas and the other cars that have got good acceleration off the line. Ooh, as we see potential, no, just having a look there. Yeah, those seem to be the popular ones.
Yeah, it looks like he's putting himself off for the next move for the first chicane.
We'll have to drag Luke Reeves in because he's been making a lot of the moves himself. We have seen a lot of moves going into that first chicane just because drivers getting a little bit wide going through turn 4, grabbing that gravel trap on the exit, which just absolutely destroys any momentum that you have coming out of turn 4. We've seen a few moves into the hairpin, and we've seen a few moves into turn 1 and 2, so they're really the best places to make the passes, I think, but really relying on the driver in front of you to make a big error in front of you, as we see.
It's a tough one.
Baggerman and Carpenter
very
side
brave
by side.
there. He's managed it.
He's got it done.
Yeah,
and
very nice.
That was because Baggerman didn't quite get a clean run through that chicane, and Carpenter just, that was all the opportunity that Carpenter needed, just carried that extra momentum into the Villeneuve chicane and got the move done.
Yeah, it really does show you how much you need to really get that chicane right. You know, getting a good exit out of that first chicane, it's vital because you're talking quite an easy overtake at the next set of chicanes if you don't gain all that momentum, exactly what you were saying.
And car 723, it looks like he hasn't made his first pit stop yet.
Can't really tell. Oh yeah, he's still got 4 stops on his little indicator there, so well spotted. And he is actually just sitting behind these two.
I'm not sure. I don't believe there were any changes to the stint timers or anything after the restart, so that's interesting that hasn't made a stop yet. I do believe that it doesn't count it as a stop if you don't change tyres, so maybe they're doing something tricky there and not changing tyres. I can't imagine why though, so it is an interesting thing. Good spot, definitely. Curious to see what that's about.
Go, Paul Huddy. This driver has actually been improving a lot. I've seen him racing in the Shakedown Sim Racing Series, and he's starting to make some pretty good progress in that McLaren. I'm pretty sure he runs an Aston Martin, but good to see him spreading his skills across different cars. Actually, I take that back, he's a Porsche.
Oh, here we go. From chat, they pitted without tyres after 5 minutes after the restart.
Here we go, chance for a move here. Sean Muller on the back of the number 30 Aston, and that is a textbook pass.
Very nice.
Yeah, gave a bit of room. That's a good move. Keep it going. You lose less time by letting the guy through.
That's it.
And Macca's car is on a charge.
That's what he is. We got Aaron Lee here, and he's all over the back of Carrot in the 111 Aston now. So, well, the 111 Aston is carrying a 5-second penalty. We've actually got a few penalties at the top of the tree here. Let's see, the 652 and the 616. Oh, Connor Kingston has got a penalty. So, yeah, that hard work from Pignata. That's going to be undone a little bit. See if Aaron Lee can get the move done on Currod. Head up towards the first chicane.
Still doing quite well after starting. It was second, I believe, that car started, the 112.
I want to say yes.
Yep, that is it. Just confirming. Yeah. So he started second, so still right up there. Very hard to judge positions, obviously. At this point in the race, you know, we haven't been going for that long, so lots to shake up, especially with all the pit stops happening now. But everyone's pretty much keeping in the order. We haven't seen too many changes at the front of the order. Everybody's pretty much stayed where they are. A couple of penalties in the mix there, though, so to see how that all plays out as more pit stops come a bit later in the race.
So it looked like a 15-second penalty for car 652, the WTT car. I don't remember the incident, but 15 seconds must have been a nasty.
Blue flag car in the middle of all this. This is not going to end well, and Aaron Lee, I think he's going to read this beautifully. He gets up the inside of the canal block, and he has got that move done and dusted. That is basically 101 on using the lap traffic to your advantage. And,
Absolutely.
This BMW, he's not letting it go. He's going with the Aston, almost trying to sneak up the inside there. Interesting choice of tactics, I would say.
Yeah, it's interesting use of blue flags there. I don't think that our Aston friend is going to be too happy about that, but long race still to go, so hopefully he stays cool.
Well, that's racing, and it's a legitimate strategy.
Sometimes you win. Yep. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just the ebb and flow of endurance racing. See it a little bit. Don't know if you two gentlemen are very familiar with the Japanese Super GT series, but that is, if you want to see how to use lap traffic to your advantage, that's what you watch. So when you get the two classes, obviously different speeds, it does help change the momentum of the race. You got a guy who's out there 10-second lead, and then he hits the GT3 cars, and all of a sudden that 10-second lead can evaporate quickly, and he drops down to third. Really exciting stuff. Best drivers will utilise it.
Yeah, and that comes back to your previous statement when you're talking about your psychology, keep calm, keep cool.
Yeah, well, that's all endurance racing, isn't it? It is all about keeping your cool, and, managing that traffic, and like I was saying, especially at Zolder, it's just a comparatively short track compared to most of the typical endurance racing circuits that we used to, like Spa or Freedom Ones or something like that, where there's usually quite a bit of room. The blue flags, there's some obvious places, but the lack of a really long main straight here at Zolder does make letting people pass as a blue flagger quite tricky and does shake things up. But it's something you've got to manage, as you were saying. It's part of racing. You can't get too upset about it, and you see an opportunity with a blue flagger, you're going to take it, aren't you?
Absolutely, and you may get frustrated, but 10 minutes down the track, you may get an opportunity to use it yourself, and you'll be damned if you don't use it. So stop complaining. Get on with it.
Yeah, you got to look at that timer up the top. 4 hours and 39 minutes to go. We've got plenty of time to gain that position back.
Yeah, never over until it's over. I've seen so many different incidents on the last lap of an endurance race sort of event. I've seen drivers blow up engines on the very last corner and then stop just meters before the line. I've seen the dreaded disconnect happen. We've already had a disconnect as well in this restart. Fortunately, our man in commentary, JC, his team was affected by a disconnect, and I don't know where they're sitting in the race at the moment. They're certainly not in the top 30. Hopefully their charge goes to plan. So we look at Nabil, and he's right behind Megan D. So D, also a little bit out of position. Started in 18th, up to 19th, but at one point was way down in around 40th position, I want to say.
Yep, that's right, 40th. Yep.
And speaking of Megan, straight into pit lane.
Yep.
So they're ticking off a mandatory pit stop, and D will hand over the car to other teammates.
Just had a question pop through. Do we have any interviews lined up? Any driver interviews?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. From my watching of OLR racing, I haven't heard too many of those happening, but they're always very insightful.
I assume we're going to wait for them to get out of the car first, right? I mean, we're not going to...
Really?
Yeah, we could do it classic 80s style and talk to people while they're driving.
I've done that on one of my own streams during a Wreckfest stream. That was hilarious. It was just screaming.
And then we can all ask questions at the same time.
That's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
Gives a whole new meaning to the commentator's curse if we can do it live on air with a driver.
Oh yeah, live commentators' curses are the best.
Then we can ask them about strategy and what the times are and how the tyres are.
Be interesting to see what Megan D's strategy there is, because it is an interesting time to make that stop at this point in the race. But maybe trying to make up for that lost ground.
Yeah, the undercut, it's strong around here, just because of, well, it would be strong if there were less cars. I mean, again, you look at that track map, look at the other side of the circuit, just towards that first chicane, nothing but cars. We're currently focusing on 15th. That is Alex Elm, I think. I assume that's Elm.
Yes,
yep.
that's Elm. Yep.
Very good. There's just nowhere really to get some clear space to put down those competitive times and try and undercut someone. You're always going to be having traffic every single lap. And again, as I said, the blue flags, they're not obligated to just drive off the track to get out of your way. They have their own race to do. They have to be competitive with the people around them, and they're running their own strategies as well. So we swap to our race leader. Forgot we had a race leader, by the way.
Typical endurance race.
Yep. Did Megan come in early? I would say that they did. I would say that the 720 did come in early.
Yeah, they must.
They were racing in traffic amongst competitors, but I don't know where they fed back out or if there was a driver swap. So if there's a few seconds in front of them, they might be able to do the undercut.
Riding on board with Jeremy Talbot, number 18 Audi. Good performance from the number 18. I think that is the Kovacs racing machine just ahead of them. I think that is Carl Johnson. So Johnson back into the top 10. Great recovery for the Kovacs crew. Am I right? No, I think that's number 18. Never mind.
And I think it was a position swap too. Car 111 and 112 just now.
I'd say that you're right. Carrot has got around Aaron Lee. But, there's some... Let me do my quick maps here. There's some 40 seconds behind our race leader as we look at Carl Johnson. Speaking of...
Close battle key for 9.
Yep, he's just behind Jose Roldan. say, I'm trying to get the name right. Another driver from the Shakedown Sim Racing series. So great to see a bit of cross pollination between the series.
Yeah, well, as I was saying earlier, we definitely seem to have brought out quite a lot of talent from all around the place, it seems. There's so many quick people here. I mean, you look at the split times, you know, for qualifying. You know, the slowest driver here is at 1:29.7 in terms of the average time, and that's based on the average times of all the drivers in each team. So it's all very close. These guys are very competitive.
Great to see. This close racing keeps going for the remainder of this race.
It's an interesting one for an endurance event because you know, normally there's a bit more of a break, but as we've been saying, you know, such a short, tight circuit, you're not really going to get that typical rest you might see in that clean air. It's we're always going to be dealing with some sort of cars, even if you're right at the front of it. Just again, that track map, look at it. It's just a sea of dots.
Ooh, that's a bit of a send and a bit of a bump.
A bit of a bump past there.
Yeah, I think Carl's. Yeah, he's gonna let it go.
Redress that. Very well done there.
Good sportsmanship.
We
he had to have a go.
too much.
Maybe let off too much. No.
Is that the Reeves Bentley again?
That's Reeves. Yeah, it is. I think you're right. He may have to give an award out.
That's a hit. Never mind.
It is too.
Yeah, there you go. Jeremy Walter. Seen this guy. Haven't seen this guy actually for a while. He's got some pace behind him. But, and a very loyal fan base as well, from what I've seen.
Yeah, names come up in the chat a bit.
Yeah. Usually has a troop of people following him in chat.
Bit of support for a lot of drivers here.
Yeah. Great to see. Great to see. So now Johnson, this is part 2 of his fight with Roldan. All over the back of him. And actually, Johnson and Roldan both race in the Shakedown Series. So these guys sort of know each other. As Johnson trying to set up a switchback, going through the Villeneuve chicane. Couldn't quite get it done as we head up the hill towards the hairpin one more time. We're going to see part 2. Here comes round 2. A big send from Johnson.
And bump again.
A little bit of a bump, but I think there was nothing in it. I think Roldan probably turned in a little bit early, but it's sim racing. It's hard to really judge it.
Well, he's going to come back on him. Good defending driving there. Good defensive driving.
Yeah,
yes, he telegraphed what he was doing, so
Johnson
wasn't going to be a surprise.
Move to the right, left there, sorry, just to discourage the send from Jose, and well, on with the show.
Oh, here we go! That's a
send! Oh, that's
nearly made it.
That's a Boatley going through the beach.
Yep.
So suboptimal line, and another battle, and another one.
Why have one when you can have 3?
Even better. Oh, bit of a compromise
slow exit.
Oh,
this is going to be interesting. Coming turn 1, it's going to be interesting. 3 cars.
Go down into turn number 1, and Jeff Mabiel not quite able to get the move done, but he's got to be sensible here. He's got Baggerman's right behind him, and that McLaren of Paul Huddy, he's making his McLaren very, very wide.
Yeah.
Yes. Nerves of steel kicking it through there.
McLaren is actually quite wide itself, isn't it?
Oh, he's got a wheel on the grass. It's going to be compromised into the chicane now.
Here we go, and I think this is just going to be a textbook move into the chicane. Dafra's got it done.
Yep.
And Huddy actually managed to keep position, but he's under immediate pressure from Baggerman. So Baggerman looking for the move. He just moved around the mirror there just to pressure. And Huddy's had a bad run through the Villeneuve chicane. Here we go, we're side by side. This usually doesn't end well here. And I think Huddy is just going to park his car right in the middle of the road here. He's running deep.
Oh, he gave him room by the looks of it, but it was too much, I thought.
McLaren's got good drive there. I think that was the right move to do, going a bit wider.
BMW had to get out of it because just where that track sort of goes left and right, gets really narrow really quickly. So Bagman had to get out of it. That almost allowed that BMW, not part of this battle, really. Ooh, honey.
Get loose there.
Yeah, definitely look like as if this McLaren's just got a bit of oversteer.
This is great to watch.
Yeah, very nice driving from both of them here. See how he's doing. Seems to have it under control though.
Yep. Keep it smooth. You'll get through.
So very easy when you get past, just to get a little bit flustered, you get a little bit stressed out. You need to drive a little bit harder, as Bagman had a bit of a rough motocross ride over the curbs there.
Yeah, Hudley not quite taking as much of the curbs there. Bagman's is.
Just sort of get the sort of sense there, don't you? The sort of shift in momentum as Huddy just starts to recollect himself. He just starts to creep away a little bit. Bagman probably still feeling a little bit of urgency there, just to try and capitalise on a flustered Huddy. He just starts making those mistakes, and Huddy will just start to pull away a little bit now before it will stabilise again. And then in about 2 laps on, they'll be nose to tail and battling away again.
I think we need to give a shout out here to Lewis, who I believe Lewis is our leading AM driver at the moment.
He certainly is, sitting in 29th. He's got a bit of a buffer between himself and the next AM driver. If I do some quick maths again, so it's a lot of time.
Quite a bit of time, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Well
time.
done.
Yeah.
No, they
Professional
started.
streamer. Professional streamer.
They started 43rd there, that car, so doing quite well. It's been 29th now.
Sort of touched on some heartbreaking stories. The 500 down in 40th, and the 696 Nissan way down in 42nd as well. That Nissan was up near the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. I
Yeah,
could be wrong. Could be wrong.
No, you're correct. It was, I believe, before we had the restart, up in 13th or 14th position, they were doing quite well. But yeah, since the restart, unfortunately, something's happened there, and yeah, they've not come out. They've not come out the other side quite as strong as they were. Quite sure what's happened to them. It's a shame to see as a lover of the GTR. I mean, it's the best looking car. Look at it. I mean, just look at that thing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I wish they'd come up with some few better liveries for it, because it is pretty well just it's pretty well standard. If you run a Nissan, you run livery, I want to say livery 4,
Yeah,
and just change some colours.
yeah. It's definitely one of the limitations that we see the Nissan. It's one of my only real gripes with it, is that it does have very limited livery options.
It's the most important option, though. I mean, we're all vain. It's got to look nice. It's got to look nice.
So it's what you guys call satin metallic or chrome for your paint.
I'm a matte fan myself.
Bit of a mixture. I go for a bit of matte black, a bit of satin metallic. Yeah, I don't know. I just sort of mix and match. It's always red, white, and black, I've noticed.
Yeah, that's my trademark colours, I suppose, red, white and black. Not that they're particularly original, but that's just what I've used for almost everything ever.
Yeah, it can't be trademark. Put the signature there.
Yeah.
I will say, this Audi colour is very nice.
It's a fantastic livery, this one.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I love that sort of asymmetrical livery. You see it a lot on the...
Asymmetrical? Oh, it does my head, and you triggered me, man. You triggered me. Oh, it's got to be symmetrical. There's no other choice.
Well, I don't know. Have you guys seen a lot of the Gazoo racing liveries? Like they all have that sort of...
Hate it! I'm gone. I've got to walk away. I hate it.
Oh, wow, you really have triggered him here.
I'm going to keep going then.
Yeah.
Make it stop. Nah, it's the Gazoo racing. Oh, does my head in. But
I absolutely love it. It's just great. I don't know why. It just sort of like a something else out there. A few of the WRT liveries look great as well. They have that sort of not quite central stripe that's sort of broken at the bottom. That always looks nice as well. I don't know.
oh, I'm going to take the road here, or the road show. So, what's up with the Lexus liveries? Like,
Oh no!
why?
Oh no!
Why?
Oh no! Moloch, please be gentle with him.
Got a good little battle here with the AM drivers. These three quite close together. Sort of the battle for almost the podium, I suppose, of the AM split. Drivers here chasing very close together.
Great little battle for our AM competitors here. I think this actually extends to include Carlson in the fourth.
Well, there's a sand.
Ooh,
Oh,
Oh,
that's
got
a
him!
big sand.
Dearie me.
I am, yes. You're a pace of ball in that.
And when you're behind watching that, that's how you make 2 positions.
It's still going here. The
Over yet.
Aston. Oh, he's actually out of position here. He's not fighting with these guys. He's got his eyes closed and praying, oh please, don't involve me in this.
He's doing his best trying to stay out of the way.
Alternatively, he was probably behind those guys going, how am I going to get through these guys? Up. Moses part of the sea right there.
There
Good
happened.
stuff. All right, John Sonicus, here we go. The one.
Pit exit.
That was a dodgy moment then. Oh, but
Sweaty
glad.
palms, heart and mouth. That's what I dreaded.
Yeah, it's always going to be an issue, that pit exit, just because it's...
Oh, someone's backwards.
Oh, we've got someone completely off track there. Regain themselves.
That's a did he teleport? Oh, it's a replay. Or did he teleport?
Losing it themselves. Yep. Mid-engine things. Just, yep. Typical mid-engine car snap there.
Yeah. Too much curb on turn 4. See if we can do a safe entry. That's one of the fastest parts of the circuit there, I think.
For Zolder, I suppose that's the fast part of the circuit. Sure, it's definitely not what I describe as a particularly quick circuit. It's it's just a lot of mid-speed corners, really.
it's a very very difficult track to drive and set up for, because you've got these slow, quick changes of direction, and then you've got those sort of mid-speed, long radius corners that really need a stable rear end to just power through and, point in and hit the apex and get off the corner nicely. But then you get to those tight chicanes, you need the car to rotate quickly. So very, very tough to balance a car perfectly around this circuit.
999 was out of position on the previous corner, and Alex has made the move.
Alex is, taking advantage of that through these first couple of corners here into turn 4. Done it
That was
very
good,
easy.
calm racing. Yes.
Yeah, definitely, as you're saying, those first 4 corners are almost completely different to the rest of the track, and that was definitely a challenge I found when I set up the Honda around this circuit. It's trying to get the rear end loose enough in those first set of corners, but sorry, tight enough in those first set of corners, but not so tight that once you get to the chicanes, the rear end doesn't kick out enough.
There was a car outside the circuit back there. Was it 42, 62? It was a greyish looking car on the side. I think he's merged back into the track now. I think it was maybe 82 in Nabil.
Yes, it looked like that, yes. Zoo here for 10th position.
Battle for 10th, we got David Neighbour just ahead. Neighbour's had a bit of a tough second running of this race.
A bit of a launch by that BMW there in the first part of the chicane.
Oh,
Good
big
save.
That's the
Bit of a dirty air.
151. That's the 151 Bentley that we had Reeves in. That thing has been fast.
Yeah, they've got that set up really nicely, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the big bad V8 that's planted in that Bentley, but it has been launching off the corners, and yeah, he's been getting monster runs up the hill towards that final hairpin. Chat reckoning that we're being DDoSed again. No.
Not
No,
put
no,
too
no,
much into
that's
that.
wrong. No, nope.
Nope, not happening.
No, didn't see that. It
Focusing on the
doesn't
race.
happen. Not happening.
Don't read that part of the chat. I've been ignoring it. Let's focus
Yeah,
on
let's
what's happening on
read
track.
some of the other happy parts of the chat.
Yeah.
Hal and Craig Dale. Oh, thank you guys. It's really nice of you to say that. Doing our best here, and we'll continue to do that for the next 4 hours 18 minutes. Megan D, dumb mistake, and sweaty driving doing recovery duties there. Well, it was a good recovery, Megan. Got up to 20th, so decent effort there.
Yeah, can't fault that drive, I don't think, considering what happened initially. I think made a good enough recovery there, especially in this long race. But yeah, there's a lot of focus on this Bentley. I think this Bentley might get some sort of award or record for the most overtakes in this race, because they've been doing a fair bit of it. Definitely some close racing with the competitors ahead of them.
Well, they're currently leading Pro-Am by a fair margin too. 3 seconds, nearly 4 to the 150 Ferrari, which has also been doing quite a bit of battling throughout this evening. In the hands of Josh Hill and now in the hands of Muller. So we'll have to keep an eye on these two. They're actually on the verge of top 10. So this, we have a yellow flag out. That is at the death chicane. Should we just call that first chicane the death chicane?
It would be easier than the correct name pronunciation, that's for sure.
Sounds about right.
Actually, I think that's the easiest track corner name to pronounce.
It is actually.
Out of everything. Yeah. Hang on. Let me bring up the track map again. Yeah, the clone chicane. We're calling it the death chicane though.
Yep.
That's got a bit of a ring to it.
It's a much more accurate name for it, especially based on this race so far.
Do we know who that yellow was for? Because I was looking down the end of the leaderboard. Sonicus was coming up behind some Pro-Ams, and now he's not there. So I've either missed a scroll on the numbering, or he had him over. I think it was
back to their leader, Jeremy Talbot, in Speedy Mile Racing, sorry. Just trying to read that bottom corner. They're, oh no! No. You're joking.
So sad. So sad.
Looks like we've
Right at the end of the shift.
We've caught the DDoS curse again. Yeah.
Not much you can say, really, is there? It's just a disappointment.
Yeah,
I
I don't get these people. I really don't get them. Yeah. What can you say?
Yeah, it's a sad reality that we're all kind of having to face recently, unfortunately. You know, we're not the only ones affected. Obviously, there's been quite a number of these at quite high-profile races have been hit by similar attacks. But yeah, it does appear that we're struggling with the same thing, even here down under.
G'day, gents. Just joined for my stint, but looks like I might not be needed.
And
well, that remains to be seen.
Welcome to the commentary box, Ollie Daniel and also Stephen Bechtold.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us at this critical moment of the race.
Yeah, looks like a lot's going on track.
Yeah, look at those flags go.
Yes. more barrier repairs. So that yellow flag a couple of laps ago, someone obviously went into the barrier. So more barriers need repairs here.
That tyre barrier does need to be repaired. It's very, very important that the tyre barriers are nice and sturdy.
Absolutely.
And even the Armco as well needs to be repaired.
Yeah, the Armco out.
Speaking of repairing Armco, has anyone seen the stories about people who have crashed at the Nürburgring and how much it costs them?
It's a lot.
No, do tell.
It's like €1,000 or something for every meter of Armco that needs to be repaired or replaced.
And you are responsible for repairing it too.
And I think it's like another €1,000 to have the tow truck drive a hot lap round the circuit to come get you.
What's the moral of the story?
Don't crash.
Exactly.
Or be rich.
Stay calm.
Be both.
Yeah, be both. I mean, you do a motor racing, you got to kind of be a bit rich anyway, don't you? I mean, let's be real.
There we go. There's a good excuse. Attack Racing. The Jag has been dropping oil again. Damn Jaguars.
Damn Jaguars, yeah, typical. Carrying too many thieves' tools in the boot.
Those flags on the left are really blowing a gale. There could be a tornado running through here, so red flags.
Yeah, see, even more danger. Well, the weather at the start of the race was a little bit cloudy, and it's just been sunny since.
Yeah, it didn't look like we were going to have any rain today, which probably made some people really happy. It makes me very unhappy. I mean, rain's always great to watch.
Yeah, don't mind a bit of rain. Funnily enough, I used to hate it. But then again, that was back when I was about 7 or 8 years old, when racing go-karts, and I wasn't allowed to use wet weather tyres.
Yeah, that's an understandable
the centre style. Nice.
Hey, it was great. I learned how to race in the wet. It was brilliant. 25 years later, I was quite competitive in the wet.
I quite like wet weather racing. I find it's as someone who's not particularly focused on being outright pacey and likes to focus a lot more on racing and strategy. I do like a bit of wet weather because it does sort of even the playing field a bit and makes the race just that little bit more interesting.
Hello, gentlemen. It seems like I've joined right for the perfect discussion for me. I love to talk about the rain, and I mean, it doesn't seem like there's much going on track at the moment. So yeah,
unleash it, mate. Unleash it.
How's everyone's races gone? I assume my fellow commentators are also driving.
That'd be 2 no's. Mike and I, both our teams didn't make it through.
That's a
and
shame.
I'm basically the full-time commentator tonight.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you what. Oh, go on, Stefan.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather speak about the weather or the DDoS attack or anything else because our race wasn't going according to plan. So, yeah, to be fair, I think we were kind of okay with the restarts, given that we already had lost a lot of position due to some oopsies. And yeah, but obviously it's sad. So,
is that an official term? Oopsies? Is that official race term?
No, I think the official race term is a whoopsie. I think oopsie is slang.
Noted.
PG-15 stream here. This is a Christian stream. No,
I'll tell you what. These DOS attacks we've been experiencing. The first one was probably one of the greatest things to ever happen to my team, and the second one not so much.
That is karma, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
The great gods of DDoS giveth, and they taketh away.
We went from 42nd in sort of the first race to last, and just kept taking damage. Not really our fault either, which was a shame. And also, we weren't ready when the race started, so we actually had the wrong driver in the seat. He'd only just woken up, and in his word, "Oh beep, I haven't had a coffee or a cigarette yet." So that first stint was rough.
Oh, that'd be nasty.
Oh, we were talking about pre-race rituals. There you go. There's a good one. Coffee and a cigarette.
Yeah, exactly.
For the win.
Exactly.
Also,
Wait,
shout out.
Isn't that just isn't that just called breakfast, coffee and a cigarette? Or at least for me it is. That's
Yep,
what I typically would do before a race.
if you're somewhere in Europe, then yep, coffee and a cigarette, absolutely.
I think that's Italy, isn't it?
An espresso.
France, I thought.
Yes.
Was that like a
probably both of them.
baguette and a cigarette?
Yeah, I mean, usually it's a milk-based drink, so it will be a cappuccino or a latte macchiato and a cigarette that keeps you going until noon. So, yeah.
Well, there's only one way to drink your coffee, and it's black.
I was going to say from a cup, but sure.
Well played, sir.
Very well played. All right, I'll take that. I'll pay that.
Oh,
also-
it's like how do you drink your wine? I use a straw from the bottle, so.
Right, shout out to the hamster, $50, 100 likes. Max is getting fed. Good for Max.
Good
I don't know who Max is.
The hamster. That's him.
I think it could be me, but he's missed the T and hit the X. I don't know.
Perhaps.
But if it is for Max, well done, Max.
Well, I mean, you will find out at some point, right? I mean, if you're getting fat, then you know that probably you are Max. If you're not getting fat, then you're probably not. Simple as that.
Can't fault that logic.
Wasn't there a commentator for Bird? What was the bird's name?
That was me.
What's your bird's name?
Bird's name is Chitter, and he is not in the booth with me this time. I live in Canberra in Australia, and for those of you who live in Australia, we all know that Canberra is a miserably cold, horrible place, so he is tucked up in bed, nice and warm.
I personally didn't know that people did live in Canberra.
We don't.
It's more of a vegetative state, or is it not living, or what would you as a local experience?
Everyone leaves Canberra to actually do things. That's it. We have nothing in Canberra. It's just a miserable place. But anyway,
You just tell
I mean, honestly, you do have the ANU though, the Australian National University. This is the only reason that I know people actually move to Canberra for, if I'm not mistaken.
that's about right. That's about right.
I do believe we have an official announcement in the chat. If you want to take that, Matt. Just in the Discord server.
Yeah, just hunting for it now.
In the announcement channel for Endurance, ACC Endurance.
Okay. This is absolutely gutting for myself, and I'm sure it is gutting for everyone in the commentary box here, as well as everyone on track. Sorry to say, this is actually I'll let the man himself take care of it. Not great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks very much.
I mean, shout out to Muls for everything he's tried to achieve tonight. Unfortunately, out of your control, mate. Sadly, there are some just miserable losers out there who can't stand people having fun. So, yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye,
Matt.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.